I'm live, according to the YouTube studio. Hello, human beings. Hello, Mannerley AF3I. You and your complex username, hi. Hello to VS, a slightly simpler username for simpler times. Hello as well. Greetings, one and all. What's up, Seeb? How's it going? PicPR is here. Hello, PicPR. Vera V is here. Hogging all the V's in the alphabet, I dare say. What's up, Vera V? Verily, Vera V. Nice to see all of you. BTS with the mess. Bringing the rhymes. BTS with the mess. I'm expecting some rhymes from you for my outros today. You've already proved you're capable. Hello, Seeb, and hello to your hyperactive cat. Hello, Zumakachova. Waving emoji. I like the emojis. Hello, Francesca Fasolino. Message retracted. Presumably said something very insulting about me, but hello to you nonetheless. Nemesis, hello. Tanaja, hello, your first live. I'm very happy you're here. Nilsood is here. You should probably be sleeping, but who needs sleep when there's reactions to be seen? I don't. That's not a good. That's not a good advert, is it? Really? That didn't come off very well. Well, I'm very happy all of you are here. Gabriella. Hello, Gabriella. Nice to see you. How is everyone doing? Are you having a splendid day? I very much hope you are. Yeah. BTS Mummy 305. Potentially another sugar mummy in the chat. Hello, BTS Mummy 305. Nice to see you. Wensler is back. Seeb is back. How was my day? My day has been very expensive so far. I went to the dentist, and going to any kind of medical person in America is tricky because you can't be sure they actually want to give you healthcare just purely by itself, because oftentimes they just want your money. Like, they might also give you healthcare, but they also might try and sell you healthcare you don't need, which is the reason why healthcare and capitalism don't mix. It's not like going to, a salesman and getting a couch. Like, your health is important, and you're not an expert, so you don't know if you're being ripped off. Point being, I went to get my teeth seen to and cleaned a little bit, and they tried to sell me $1,400 worth of cavity fillings, and I saw a dentist like 3 weeks ago, and they said I didn't have any cavities, so that was suspicious. But they did manage to sell me $360 worth of teeth scrapings, so I still got nice and ripped off. So if anyone feels like donating today, you could maybe pay for like one tooth. That would be great, because today was an expensive day. Hello, just another dude. I like your name. What's up? BTS Mummies coming at you live from New York. Eliza Ferez Fernandez, hello. And V Takase's back. Raincloud, hello. Casey Girl is hello. Tanaja wants to know if I'll react to Rising Stars of BTS Part 2. Yes, I am planning on doing that today. It's probably going to be... It might end up being the whole stream because it's a long video, but that is the plan. Tanvi Sood says, what's popping, comedian? My pecs. Hey, I can't pop my pecs. I don't even know if I have pecs, really. Is it like if you get your pecs big enough, then they start just doing the thing where they shake themselves, or do you have to like sit in the mirror and frown and make them bounce around? I don't know how that works. Anyway, reacting stuff. I love my shirt too. Bunnies, rainbow bunnies. These are all little gay, happy bunnies. They're just gay in the sense that they're happy to be alive, and gay in the sense that they love each other and they're all the same sex. Both senses of the word. What more could you want? Everyone loves rainbows. Everyone loves LGBTQ people. Like, this is a really sad story, but I was at a concert on Saturday, and it actually occurred to me at the concert, it's a good thing I didn't let you guys talk me into getting tickets for BTS in Vegas. Well, because I couldn't afford it, but also because, like, let's say I just broken my bank account and done it anyway. Because of ADHD, I'd forgotten that the other comedian got me tickets for a different and much cheaper concert that was in town on that same day, on Saturday, so it's probably for the best. I'll see them eventually, it's going to happen. But I was at this concert, and me and comedian we're on the rail, we're like headbanging some dubstep, as we do, and there was two people next to us two really, really cool people, and they were so nice. They even said to other comedian, they said, "We love your guys' vibes. You guys are really cool." And I looked at them and I thought, "Oh my god, like lesbian friends." Because comedian and me, we've been like jonesing for lesbian friends. We had like the best lesbian friends in Minneapolis. Lesbian friends are the best. If you don't have any lesbian friends, get some. They know all the best parties, all the best beers. Let's say, you know, all the best places to hang out. Like, they'll make your lives better. And I was literally there, like, okay, I was at the concert planning out in my head how I was going to ask them to be my friends once the show ended. And then 5 minutes before the show ended, they just left. And I actually felt my heart breaking in two. I was, yeah. I'll get them next time. I'll get my lesbian friends again next time. Chat delay is not too bad today, it seems like. I agree. 2 midterms tomorrow, but this is more important. I don't know if I can condone that. Deep down, I agree with it, but on the surface, I say no. Under the surface. That is like the best song. Like, when I found out that not Surface Pressure, when I found out that Bruno was like the song that popped off from Encanto, I was like, well, sure, it's fine, but Surface Pressure is like 1,000,000 times better, you know? That's a fact. I know, Tanaja, yeah, I know. I like it, in my head, I was like, I'm not good. This isn't waiting. Like, you know, it'll be obnoxious. It'll be hard during the show to say something. Like, I'll wait until the end of the Like, I should have just said it right there and then. Honestly, like, I'm not even kidding. I mean, you know, I wasn't entirely sober, but like, as they walked away, I felt my heart breaking in two. I was like, because I'd already planned out our lives together and our friendships, and it's like, never wait. It's so true. I'm the middle child, and I think Surface Pressure is just great. I mean, like, it's not even just that the lyrics are fantastic, and they are. It's, you know, incredibly catchy, incredibly well written, and the music video, like the section of the movie that is the video for the music, is just so good. Like, they got like the donkeys being like, the whole thing's brilliant. We're going to talk about Bruno. It's fine. I can see why it's popular, but Surface Pressure, all the way up there. What's up, Nico? Content this Saturday is being live streamed if you want to watch. I wonder if I could get away with also live streaming that and reacting to it. Almost certainly not. I'd probably get banned off the internet, but that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be fun. All right, while we're hanging out, while I've got you here, let's kick this off by playing just 2 tracks today, because I want to do that whole Writing Styles of BTS outro. But if you guys never heard of Odesza, O-D-S-Z-A, like SZA, but with Ode on the front, an ode to SZA, the art. That's not how it works. But if you guys never heard of them, you've been missing out. They're amazing. They make like beautiful, ethereal, chill music. This one is a good one. So here we go. Maybe I should do a live stream on Patreon. Maybe I should. Maybe I should hook that up. That's how I can get you guys onto my Patreon. Brrr, brrr. I'm glad we have some Odesza appreciators in the chat. Tanvi. Perfect summertime music, as it's almost summer. You turned 20 last Friday and you feel weird. Is it too soon for an existential crisis? No, I think life is about having a series of existential crises. You don't tend to have them until you hit 20. I mean, waving goodbye to your teens, that's a thing. That's very much a thing. That's the first step in realizing, oh, life isn't permanent. But the 20s are pretty good for the most part. I mean, college is great. If you're going to university, that's a great time, so enjoy that. Have I ever watched anime? Only movies, really. I've never watched anime TV shows, but if you guys have anime you want me to see, I'd be down to do that if you pay me for it. Let's be clear on that. Like, no, as in, like, you know, I think some people do anime reactions on Patreon. I'd be down to. If you guys share it and I enjoy it, perfectly happy to do that. Hello, bowl of rice. Greetings to you. BTS made their own cartoon characters. That's BTS 21, isn't it? Or whatever what do they call it? I'm doubting myself now, but I've seen those, I believe. Unless that's a separate thing. Yeah, BT21. A constant existential crisis. That's what it is to be alive these days, I think. Pendants. Some lovely chill music to study to. Lo-fi hip-hop nips to study to, or whatever you call it. How's my day been? Oh, well, a bowl of rice. I already dropped the story about how I got charged $360 for dental care. So yeah, living in America is a fun time. Very basic dental cleaning. 360 bucks. Okay. Oh, so if anyone was curious, once again, that was Odesza and Bloom. And all of their music is music you can show to your parents without upsetting them. It's all really nice. They have some more upbeat ones, but most of their stuff is just really laid back, soothing, calming, soulful music. Kind of stuff that gets you in your feels in a good way. What's up, Tejpal? How's it going? Good to see you. And now, for an actual bop, I mean, that is a bop, but it's a chill bop. Now for an energetic, upbeat bop, an up bop. Glass Animals and Denzel Curry, Tokyo Drifting. I was obsessed with this song like a year or two ago, and I still am, technically, because it's so good. What's up, Lucy Faya? Bowl of rice. Add anything by Odesza to your study playlist. It all counts. Do we need these subs? I don't know. Annie, hoo-ha, Ango. I'm impressed somebody bothered subtitling this. Owo. O-wo. O-W-O. Anyway. Yeah, Heat Waves, such a banger. Songs are good. I'm not even paying attention to the video. It's a cool video though. It's like the evolution of that like penciled on style that was huge like 4 or 5 years ago. It's the next step. Wavy Davy. Lentil soup is delicious. Lentils are good stuff. Good stuff, sir. This video is cool. This is where it pops off. Don't be lured into a false sense of security.
Niggas wanna talk about a G, but I spin a G on a 12 teeth in my mouth. Diamonds aquatic, it feel like a trout on my wrist or a spot on my wrist with a spider up in it. Everything gotta be 80 and you keep the 20%. You know that I get it, I'm on it, I'm in it. If you try to take it, the clip get extended. I'm back on my bullshit like Jordan, I'm pimping. If this is my life, then I'm Tokyo drifting.
What's up, Carolyn? KW, hello. Yes, I am dropping some jams. Having a steaming hot lentil soup in dead of winter is a life changer. Not where I thought that sentence was going, because I would also say having a steaming hot shit in the dead of winter is a life changer. Personal taste. This video is a drug trip, can confirm. Thank you. I like my shirt too. My rabbits don't like it. They think it's creepy and weird. It makes them uncomfortable. What a tune. What a tune. Just, you know, I was obsessed with this track for so long, playing it on blast into my eardrums. So that is Glass Animals and Denzel Curry, Tokyo Drifting. Denzel Curry, if you guys don't know, being an amazing rapper, one of my favorite rappers right now. He's good. I'm just imagining like, you know, RM, J-Hope, Suga collabing with Denzel Curry. That would be really cool. Let's see if I can find a Denzel Curry song to show you guys, because he's great. He was the guy doing the outro. Oh, he released a new album recently as well, which I completely forgot about. That's the problem with me. I have artists I'm obsessed with, and they'll drop a new album, and I won't check it out for like a year. I don't know what's wrong with me. But his Taboo album is so good. I like every single song on this album. And it's very rare for me to like every single song on an album, but this album is like so dark, so deep. I mean, it's very intense. Which one? Which one is which? Maybe this one? Wait, that... Okay, not that one. I mean, that's a great song. Also very, very depressing. And I don't want to end my bop sharings thing on a depressing. This one's a great one. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. There's a collab artist in this. It's not saying who it is here. Oh, 12 Len, who has the smoothest, butteriest voice in the world. Sky is the limit, I could die in a minute. Got my mind in a skillet, suicide, not a mission. See the vibe, very timid, I'm timid and very sad. Translating my thoughts and feelings, I've pivoted to the past. Rappers turn to landscapers when they use hoes. Hoes turn to housewives when they see gold. Ice Cube with activator when I'm aggravated or decapitated when I lose my head since life is overrated. 2,000 feet, 1,000 steps. I let it all sink to 1,000 depths. Soon black balloons pop. Let it be the day the pain stops. I've always taken black balloons popping to be a metaphor for him shooting himself or being shot in the head, which is so dark, but I mean, it's artistic. What's up, Nixelvin? Nixelvin. You got like a Roman name, I like it. This guy's voice, So
figure it
buttery.
out. I ain't trying to tell you that this life isn't it, and I just wanna be the rightest I can be. Show my son the thing so he can fly, yes I can be. Always show examples how they kill niggas like me. Thinking as straight as me, but gon' me crazy. Silence my attitude, so I'm cool like Jay-Z. Underplay my intelligence for tweets. Cancel me like I ain't the king of DC. Cancel me like I ain't the #1 G. Cancel me like you don't like dance on me. Quickly they forget how you change on all these lights. You flash on all these lights and you saving these kids' life, and they hate you cause you're right. Give me hell, then she take it, turn the fire in a pitchfork, bitch.
I'd love to listen to this song while cooking. I respect it. It's got a cooking BPM.
Tonight on 102.1, it's Denny Cascade and the gang.
And now some cool, trippy radio sample outros. Yes, I am open to suggestions. I'm always open to suggestions. Whether I do them is something else entirely, but always open. Okay, so that was Black Balloons, stylized as 13 alloons, of course, by Denzel Curry. Let me zoom that in even more for you guys. Oh, that's too much. I zoomed too much, Captain. There we go, Denzel Curry. That whole album is really good. If you do check out this album, it is very, very intense, so keep that in mind. I mean, there's a lot of suicide themes in there, mental health stuff. I mean, like, you guys are BTS pros, you can handle it, but, you know, it's not... Like that song, it's called Black Balloons. You think, oh, maybe like an emo birthday party. No, really kind of about suicide. Anyway, so yeah. So to kick things off, you know, main game reaction wise, I saw that this video just dropped, and I didn't get to go to Las Vegas, and this video is new, all aboard the hype train, choo choo, and it's a crack video, and I haven't done crack in a while. So I thought I'd do this one first. BTS in Las Vegas was wild so far. This is new and fresh content, guys. This is cutting edge stuff. So the crack is back. The crack is back. Crack. I got an intro. That's what I've got to do. I've got to do an intro. So yeah, sit tight, guys. An intro is forthcoming. Keep your super chats coming. Keep your super cyans coming. Anything super. Keep your super days and super grins coming. Let me think out an intro for this bad boy. I know, and I've got to do an intro. I've got to be professional. It's like I have to like corral. Is probably the word. Wrangle. I have to wrangle my brain into talking normally. And be like, it's like, you know, it's like one of these things. It's like, hi, I'm comedian, I'm professional. It doesn't really work, but I try. Okay. An intro, okay. Hello there, everybody. My name is Comedian, but don't let that give you nightmares. I want you to be happy and have a smiley, happy, fun time today, which is why I'm doing crack on camera. It's for the good of mankind. That's my justification. It's BTS crack, of course. I should specify that. I'm going to watch some BTS crack and react to it for your viewing pleasure. This is brand new, freshly produced, freshly chopped up and served crack. It's BTS in Las Vegas. Has been wild so far. I wouldn't know because I didn't go. I couldn't go. I looked at ticket prices and said, that's not going to happen. Not today, Sunny Jim. I'm hoping by this time next year or decade I will have made it to a BTS show, but for now I'll have to live vicariously through other people's crack videos, which is like 6 degrees of separation, but close enough. So yeah, if you also enjoy crack and you also couldn't get to go to the concert, which is probably most of us, then hopefully you'll enjoy this one. Subscribe, sit back, relax. I'm going to take you on a reaction journey. Carolyn, there's always an echo of me saying crack in my head. Oh, okay. Let's do this, guys. For real, let's go.
Wait a minute.
그리고 상당히 더울 겁니다. 한 28도, 29도 될 거니까.
Wait a minute.
Or let's not go, because somebody called Nixelvin felt the need to destroy my focus by donating quite a generous amount of money to me. Like, what the hell is wrong with you, Nixelvin? Like, Jesus. That's me being very sarcastic. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I do feel a bit overwhelmed now, so you might have ruined this video. But it was worth it. I've been paid handsomely to ruin this video. I'm just going to be here like, wow, Nixelvin's great. I love Nixelvin. Nixelvin, Nixelvin, Nixelvin. Let's go.
그리고 상당히 더울 겁니다. 한 28도, 29도 될 거니까.
Wait a minute.
Ooh, Jimin. That's one of those things where you say a joke and other people don't appreciate it. I can't relate to that. That never happens to me. And then you look around and you're like, you know, screw it. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. This deserves to be heard. And you say it again and people look at you in a way that makes it clear we heard that joke the first time. Wasn't any better the second time. And then you get sad. Unless you're Jimin, of course, in which case you just look in the mirror and say, I'm handsome. It's fine. I mean, he is hotter than 28 degrees. Probably like by another 28 degrees at least. Nixelvin! Oh, I'm still distracted. We want couscous? We want... Oh, focus. I read that as we want couscous. I'm just imagining a whole scene now where the crowd's just chanting, "We want couscous, we," and then RM just brings it out of his trousers and he's like, "There you go." That would be a good thing to happen. My head is weird, yes.
It's BTS!
Here we are, BTS!
Jimin and Jungkook rocking those teal suits.
멘트 준비하고 있었거든요. 안 물어보더라고.
Just a little thing I learned, which was 미궁과 꽃이 펴줍니다.
RM looks outraged, looks offended. I'm actually a bit concerned now that he might have just said like some Japanese or something, because they look so shocked. Like, I feel like it's the equivalent if RM was like, "I've been learning English, here we go, blibble schmem, flombending, ritu," and you'd be like, "Yeah, nice one."
Will that get me around?
Okay, so what are we gonna do?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I feel like I got something wrong.
Yeah, you did. You broke their brains in half. Oh no. 10 years is a long time. Take a weekend off, guys.
아니 우리가 아직 어려워. 누가랑 프렌드라고 지금. 우리라고 지금. 우리 처음 추는 우리가 하는 데가 아직 아메리카잖아. 아니 소트랑 괜찮잖아. 나는 원래 밖에서 서로 우리는 서로 프렌드가 아니야.
Is Jin 31 in international age or Korean age? And also, I feel like I saw a bit of this clip in another video, and they implied that the Korean age has been done away with, and they've just gone to the international age now. I thought Jin was like 29 or something, but then again, that was probably me watching a crank video 2 years ago.
Now, which one of you is the smoothest dancer?
Okay, my chat is telling me he's 29 in international age. That's what I thought. Because when I first saw he was 31, I was like, okay, so even though the rest of them are all younger than me, Jin's 31, so I've got two or 3 months to make it big, to make it as big as him. You know, like I can do this. And then I found out, no, actually he's 29. The ship sailed. The ship sailed before I was born, or when I was born, arguably.
Who's the smooth one? You. No, man. Come on. Okay, okay. No, man. I don't know why they're doing this to me.
Is it because you're wearing a Hessian suit? Is that why? I should hope you did. I should hope you would.
이렇게 인정을 못하는데 솔로 프랙티스 뭐 비디오 한번 찍자. 이게 무슨 소리야? 아니야.
I'd like to see that. That'd be a great reaction fodder.
아니 그 우리 데뷔 날짜 근처로 해가지고 올린다고. 아니야. 정말 뭐 이런 거 하는 거. 그러니까.
He's like a broken clock now. He's just like nah. Like he's got, like some say they found him a week later, still shaking. Nah. Just denying everything.
Is there anyone in Vegas you're dying to see? Or
베가스에서 하고 싶은 거 있어요?
Elvis, is he around still?
Actually, we're planning to see Osho. For sure. Osho for sure.
and shopping.
I can't tell if he said Ocho, as in like maybe that's like some kind of entertainment venue, or he just said our show, as in he was like the only people we're seeing right now is us.
Concert. Yeah, he's just waiting for the tour.
Honestly, like I'm so not jealous. Well, I am a bit jealous, but I don't envy. That's probably the right way of saying it. I don't envy people who have to interview BTS, because it's like it's trying to get 7 puppies to sit still and ask them questions, but you're like in a park, so they're just like it's just like it's tricky.
Meanwhile.
Well, was that V being like an alcoholic? Like, I don't want to fucking wait for them to get drinks. I want to drink this wine right now.
Meanwhile.
Jimin's had a hard day. Don't call him out. Don't call him out. Imagine watching these videos out of context as an alien. Because anytime they like brush past each other's atoms, the crack editors put like a slapping or hitting noise in. You'd think that BTS are the most violent group known to man. I think that was a back rub. Just saying. V looks like some sassy, like he looks like some sassy cast member of like, I was about to say Ron Paul. That's definitely not what it is. What's that drag queen show? Why am I saying Ron Paul? It's just so wrong. It's close to that, but not that at all, because Ron Paul is a horrible politician. You guys know what I mean. He's just like, he looks like he's backstage dishing out the dirt on other drag queens. RuPaul, thank you chat, RuPaul. I apologize, Okay, but now I want to see Ron Paul's drag show. That has to be a sketch or something, or I just want to make it happen. I want to kidnap Ron Paul, the libertarian dinosaur, is he even alive, and make him do a drag show.
Yeah. J Balvin. Snow.
I feel like them reading out "marry me" comments about each other is just the biggest troll ever. Or they're slightly jealous of it not being them. Like, is the Suga marry me thing a meme, or is it just that that's like everyone loves Suga so much? Like, is it that no one else has thought of saying V marry me? Because I feel like every other comment in a V live must be X marry me, V marry me, RM marry me, just all of it. Just get it over with. Just do it. I don't know which wedding drive-thrus he's been to, but I'm pretty sure, maybe not the gender, I don't know how progressive Vegas is, but the age I think definitely matters. I think the age definitely matters. I'm pretty sure you can't bring like, a 2-year-old horse to a drive-through wedding and say, can I marry this horse? They'd be like, no, the horse has to be 18, sir. You can go in reverse. What's he saying? Wait a second. If you reverse through a wedding drive-through, does that mean you're divorced? I think I might have found a legal loophole. I'm a genius.
So what, are you like more of a Joey? Who do you think you are?
No, I'm like a Chandler.
Okay.
I mean, he's a. When I see him, I feel so sad, and you know, feel so sad, and you know.
Oh wow.
So is he saying when he sees himself in the mirror, he's like,
연습실에서의 위계 질서가 없어. 아니잖아. 연습실에서는 탑이야. 시간 있으면 그래도 둬야지. 연습하고 싶어.
somebody give me J-Hope serotonin. He's always so happy. Bastard.
Can you tell us about your performance?
We prepared a new stage. special
Okay.
performance.
Is it
So it's
flat
gonna be
or is it like a hill?
아니 그리고 사실은 저희가 이제 뭔가 멘트를 생각을
I feel like RM's attitude was like, what can I tell you about the performance? Buy a ticket, you cheap fuck. Like, Jesus Christ, get a ticket. Jesus, looking for freebies.
야 보고 있나? 이런 밑에 배우로 카메라가 딱 돌아가는 줄 알고 이제 약간 그런 시나리오를 준비를 했었죠.
날 솔직하게 얘기하는 거지만 무대 올라가기 직전까지나 화장실 파이팅을 못했어.
아 진짜 TMI.
You have to be careful saying that because you could definitely interpret that as I don't go to the bathroom until I'm on stage, and that's why I wear big, waterproof, sparkly trousers.
아니 그거 갑자기 있을 때 얘기하다가 그런 거 문제 알려주면 안 돼. 아니 화장실에 못 갔다 왔다 얘기하는
You don't want that whispered in your ear. Who wants to be like, piss?
You are already some of the biggest pop stars in the world.
Jimin's like, some of. Do you know maths?
근데 이렇게 얘기가 해놓고 어떻게 또 얘기냐면 야 정우가 춤안 추니까 타마다. 아니 평을 보고 니들이 뭐 신거 뭐 신거 얘 진짜 그 실제로 진짜
It must have been nice to just sit on a chair.
그게 뭐 영상이 나중에 나오긴 하겠지만 이게 뭐 안 되려 되지가 않아요.
Jimin's evil. Like, I think that was. I'm hoping that was a champagne bottle he popped next to him, and not like didn't like break his kneecap in half or something. But he's got like his little oven mitt out there. Bless him. Like if he pops that champagne cork wrong, it's gonna fly off and shatter his already broken hand. Like, safety, Jimin. Come on. I love that Jin looks like a very pretentious librarian. He's like, yes, you may read this old document, this old tax document, but only I must turn the page for you. Like, he's got that vibe about him.
중간에 MC와의 간단한 재밌는 토크가 있어요. 그 잘하나? 각이 나오는 거 아니 나 보이는데 아니 강 PD님은 왜 왔지? 거기에 스포터는 왜 왔지? 각이 막 굉장히 그 좁혀지고 있었어. 되게 인사 사람들도 많이 오고 이래가지고.
Okay. I had actually seen a little bit of that before, but you know what that does for me? It makes me appreciate the crack editing even more, because when I watched it by myself, I had to use my own imagination to interpret it, and my own imagination is a very boring, dry, tedious place, a bit like a librarian with a glove like this. But in the frame of a crack video, it was much more enjoyable. So if you guys, don't appreciate what the crack editors are doing, then you should, tip your crack editors, people. This was by Cookies Taters, always putting out fresh, lovely, well-diced crack. The link will be in the description, so yeah, check that out if you want to see the original without me nattering over it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's check out the chat. I think I missed a super chat as well. I did. Tanasia, thank you very much for the super chat. You wanted to be the next Nixelvim and not quite the same amount. I mean, you're close. You're most of the way there, and more importantly, even though I feel like I have to kind of acknowledge when people give big donations. That's still a big donation, and any donation is a big donation, because like I said before, I don't feel like I deserve them, so I'm just like, wow, you got ripped off. That's way too much. Thank you, seriously, thank you so much, Sanaja. Thank you so much, Nick Solvin, for the super chats. I really appreciate it. It's so nice to get paid to film. I used to film for free like a sucker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What else did I miss? Ah, yes, the Ron Paul thing. I'll never live that down. YouTube not notifying me. Do you guys have my bell clicked? The notification bell clicked? You probably do. I think YouTube has been like suppressing me, or I've fallen foul of YouTube's algorithm. YouTube really, it's like a Victorian workhouse. It punishes you for not giving your soul to them. Like if you take a week off, your channel gets like nuked basically. And I've taken a few weeks off in a row. Wait, what are people talking about scooters for? Is that something I said? Scooter. Wait, what did I miss a comment about scooters? Did I talk about scooters? My brain. Scooter Brawn. See, that's my memory's so weak. I was like, wow, I must have talked about scooters. Crazy times. Anyway, I got to do a proper outro for this. If anyone feels like suggesting an outro rhyme, something that rhymes, is related to the video, and suggests people to subscribe or something, Patreon, something, you know, social media, SEO pushy like that, feel free. Or I can think of one myself and stop being lazy. Outro time. So yes, another excellent crack video from Cookies Taters. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to it, and if you did, then you should be subscribed, and if you aren't, I'm a little bit offended. But yeah, I'll get over it as long as you subscribe right now. There's an animation there, maybe if I remember, but the actual button's down there. So do that, click the subscribe button. Also, check out my Patreon. If you like my channel, please help support it. You can go on my Patreon and you can help support it. And as a benefit of supporting it, you get to watch Run BTS and Bon Voyage reactions, and you get to see all of my videos early, which is cool and special and unique. And special and unique and cool. So yeah, also got Discord down there, also got a comment box down there, also got lots of gratitude in my heart to you for watching, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh yes, and remember, Yara got notified, so be like Yara, everyone. Vegas rhymes with bodacious. I like that. I like that. If you enjoyed watching this tasty crack with me, hit subscribe immediately. That works. That's it. That's the one. I don't think I missed anything else. I mean, Vegas does rhyme with bodacious, but this one is a full sentiment. But the fact that you've rhymed bodacious with Vegas, hats off. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay. And remember, if you enjoyed watching this tasty crack with me, then hit subscribe immediately. What's up, Smriti? Thank you for being you, Vanessa. Unless you weren't talking to me, in which case... Why would someone name their child Rob? I know... The only Rob I know... Oh, actually, no. I knew one Rob who was a lovely, lovely person. So that doesn't... But the other Rob I know is a terrible person. So that's a 50% success rate. So, you know, shrug. Yeah. Yeah. Short for Rob Me Blind. No, short for Robert, usually. Yeah. Why does Rob sound like a dirty word to me now? I know a nice Rob. I just had a nice Rob over there. I robbed one out. I'm a child. You know Rob Kardashian? Wow. You know famous people. Was he like in your class or something? Wink. I am going to finish the writing styles of BTS. This is going to be a mammoth reaction, people. A mammoth thing. Because I watched the first 20 minutes already. Whew. So, this is like, for me, because I'm ADHD and lazy and a little bit incompetent, this is like when someone does like a 24-hour like charity stream. The charity is me, and the time is more like an hour, but this is like a big Herculean effort for me, so if you guys feel like donating during this, I appreciate you. And I'll even pause the video to shout you out, because this video is like long anyway, who cares? Suga, Jimin V, Jungkook. Okay, so I think I just did RM, so Sugar it is. Ooh. Good luck with the fasting, Seeb. Oh yeah, Flyushki Fly is a Robin. This much is known. Thank you for the moral support. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh no, wait. When I said I did 20 minutes already, I lied. I did 13 minutes 47. Maybe I'll do like Sugars and then J-Hopes and Jins and then leave the rest for part 3. Who knows? But either way, we're gonna at least try. Okay. An intro. Whew, okay, alright, an intro. Hello everyone, my name is Comedian again. If you watch part 1 of this reaction series, then it was Comedian back then, and it's still Comedian now, just to keep you posted on that. I'll let you know if it changes in the future. We're doing the writing styles of BTS. Last time we did RM, and it was very, very cool, like well made, and just impressive. Like, it was one of those things that reminded me, like, oh yeah, I was rubbish at university, really. I'm amazed I scraped a B or a 2-1. Like, I got lucky, I think, just incompetence. Like, this person knew what they were talking about and talked about it well, which are 2 things I can't say about my university time. Anyway, so yeah, next up, we got part 2, starting out with Suga. Suga is another rapper I have immense respect for, his lyrics and his wordplay and his little face, if we're being honest. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. It's a long video. I got my live stream chat with me. I've got a decent-sized glass of water, and so hopefully we're good to go. Maybe I'll get some cheese to nibble on, but that's in the future. Right now, what we're going to do is you're going to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell. You're going to sit down, and you're going to be quiet, because I need to concentrate. Let's go.
He is a character writer. I will say this until I die. He is a character writer. Everything he does
I'm just imagining her on her deathbed and like, any last words? Yeah, come closer. Yoongi is a character writer. Who the hell's Yoongi?
Metaphor, modal, it's all about character. I do think there are some pretty key differences between his writing as Suga and his solo writing, and even differences between the 2 August D mixtapes, with the understanding that these are all writing styles of Min Yoongi. When I say that he is a strong character writer...
That's kind of like how there's a difference between, you know, comedian as a person, me as a person normally, and the comedian I started out being 2 years ago and then kind of gave up on. But it's kind of the same thing as well. Oh, and thank you to Vanessa McCarthy for the super chat. That you're going to help inspire me to keep going in this video. It's a long video.
And the emotions that he writes from are fictional. What I mean is that strong character writers can embody very different personalities, dialects, motivations, and emotions in their speakers. Character writing is really strong in any kind of music that acts as a form of oral storytelling, such as folk music and, of course, rap. As a writer, Yoongi is so flexible and versatile that he can present different speakers
and as a human being,
rhythms and patterns, but also their own stories and desires and fears. A great example of this is in outro Her.
Wait. These lyrics are going over my head. They're too good. I can't take off the mask because I'm not the guy you know under the mask. This beat is so different for him as well. It's interesting. Oh my god. Once again, members of BTS holding up a mirror, an unclean, an unpleasantly, uncomfortably dirty mirror to my personality and my persona. Your laughter and happiness is how I measure my happiness. That is the sad reality of being being a comedian. I actually started doing improv again, like just this week. And I already feel slightly happier because I made some people laugh in a room. It's tragic, really, but that's how it works. I completely understand this, Yoongi. Like, if people aren't validating me, if people aren't telling me I'm okay, then I'm not okay because I don't have faith in myself. Oh yeah, deserving of love thing. Always trying to be the best and failing.
As Suga, his speakers often write from the subtext, and Yoongi is really deft at indirect characterization. The text is all about the little things he does to keep up his disguise as the perfect boyfriend, or as I wrote in my script, pobby friend, whatever that is. But the subtext reveals how deeply wrong their relationship has become. And
I think that person might be the world's first pobbysexual. Like that was their subconscious being like, find yourself a good pobby and settle down.
Has been forced into to cope with this relationship. Suga's speakers are often incredibly vulnerable, and he focuses on moments of realization, distress, and helplessness in his writing.
I like the autumn colors they've chosen for this. Relevant. See, this is a song that doesn't really apply in Los Angeles because there's basically like 2 seasons here. But I know what he means. I remember seasons.
Suga lets the emotions from the imagery form the larger metaphor about dying relationships. Like Jihyo, Suga is a great subtextual writer, and his writing often focuses on the speaker's behaviors, memories, and psychologies.
Now this is interesting. I'm assuming this is from... Maybe this is... To be fair, they have solo type songs on their album, so, you know, I don't know. But if this is from his first mixtape, because I'm pretty sure I've only seen or heard a few tracks off his first mixtape, then it's very interesting, because RM, in the stuff I've seen of him, very much avoids doing direct songs about love. And if I'm wrong about that, so be it. Just from what I've seen, it's very much about his mental health, himself as a person. Like, this seems like such a direct kind of... But not a love song, because when you think of love song, you think of somebody being like, you and me spells you, me, hooray. But this is about love, but it's very, very deep and very introspective. It's interesting. Now this song I do recognize. My chat tells me this is indeed from BTS albums. That's what I think is very cool. Like Jimin's Lie, basically a Jimin solo song, but from, you know, a BTS album. Interesting. I like that. That's a good rap reference.
The song can casually splice references to the speaker's memories with behaviors happening right now, which is a quick and simple way to convey reactions and mentality.
This is like everyone's realization, like year 2 of university. To a T. Damn. I feel like the more you hear these lyrics, the more Suga's personality makes sense, you know?
The August D mixtape is centered almost entirely on anecdotes from his personal life and maps out both the motivations of Yoongi as a writer and August as a persona.
I feel like, I don't know if it's quite deliberate, but it's almost like he's put himself he kind of has put himself in the humorless rapper category, and I think that maybe that's a reference to the fact that he's quite a dry person. You know, he's got quite a dry, cynical personality, which I really appreciate and relate to. I just love that he's put himself in that category. That's cool.
August D, as both a mixtape and a song, is exciting for its sound, pace, and aggression, and serves as a character introduction that separates this side of Yoongi from his BTS persona. The writing here is purely about characterization and personification. This mixtape is flooded with wordplay, cultural references, idioms and expressions, and self-reference that distinguish August's dialect from Suga's.
All of
BTS
which
is
went
a
over my
group,
head.
and as such needs writing that suits a group dynamic, presenting one overall message in tone with 7 smaller undertones. August's writing could probably never be published for
That
BTS,
is very
and
interesting. The idea that when they're presenting 7 messages in their songs. And I wonder if that's always strictly true because, you know, like, for example, obviously I know there's plenty of BTS songs where the writing credit might purely be just Suga, it might just be RM, it might be a few of them. So I wonder if they consciously try and be like, I want to fit, you know, Jimin's perspective in here, for example. It's an interesting
built
point.
to suit one person and one person only. The aggression and explicit language, descriptions of violence, and a pretty blatant reference to oral sex are all props and set pieces for establishing a new persona.
My tongue technology.
August
Sign me
doesn't
up.
exist in
iTongue.
absence of Suga and makes multiple references to his career as an idol and his previous music.
Wow.
This is interesting. Yoongi has...
Oh, I love the way he turns around that negativity and the pretentiousness around, you know, being an idol's not cool because it's not underground. He's saying, you should be grateful I'm an idol because if I had stayed as a rapper, you wouldn't even have a career.
the space to easily ignore his idol career or his position in BTS and work August purely as a character project, but instead he has August personify himself more like an unchained version of Suga finally getting to speak his mind. August D, at least during debut, is an imitation of Yoongi given his own soundtrack. Yoongi is switching up his writing style to better suit this version of himself.
See, I don't know what this means. In the sense that even my family can foresee my success, I feel like that's hinting at the idea that usually your family would be very supportive of you. But it depends on your family, mate. Like, I'm trying to succeed despite my family's opinion of what I'm doing, you know? That's where I'm at.
This mixtape is
Wow.
almost a dark revisionist history of Suga, or one of those true...
Like RM, like he's got some really cutting lyrics, and obviously RM and also J-Hope, they've all like kind of, you know, dissed or hit back at people calling them idols or pop artists or whatever. But Suga is the one person you do not want to put in a cage. Like, he is a chained maniac. Like, every single time I hear, because I'm so insecure as a human being, so breathtakingly insecure, whenever I hear Suga giving out a diss track, I'm always like, please say it's not about me. Like, it's devastating. Like, if I knew that was about me, I would curl into a ball and cry for weeks. It's so devastating. It's crazy.
The persona of August against the persona of Suga against the person of Yoongi. August is the uncensored, unchained version of Yoongi who gets to say everything that Suga won't, but he also exists in partner to Suga and what Suga's accomplished.
He looks so innocent as well. It's always the ones you least suspect.
Idol status and the way he's been slandered for it, whereas Suga is that idol. And Yoongi has expressed this struggle in interviews and documentaries and lives, so of course that would be part of his own music. The August D mixtape is largely a collection of stories and character pieces about Yoongi's past, as well as his hunger for success and personal peace.
You had me in the first half, not gonna lie. That is true.
While his first mixtape centers around expressing his past and fully introducing this new persona, his second mixtape sees him...
That's cool. I like that lyric. And that reminds me of something that Chance the Rapper said back when he didn't fall off hard. I want the money to chase me. I hope I don't become a monster chasing only the money. Chance the Rapper has a line in one of his acid rap songs, which is like, chasing all this money, hoping I don't get rich. All this medicine in me, hoping I don't get sick. I really like that. I really like those lines. I relate to both of those lines. Same energy here.
While his first mixtape centers around expressing his past and fully introducing this new persona, his second mixtape sees him putting on new costumes and experimenting with different kinds of storytelling.
And massive, booming beats. The costume he puts on is one of a king. I'm not convinced it's a costume. I'm convinced he is just a king.
In Digita, he combines two forms of musical storytelling, rap and pansori. He's able to personify the August of Digita as a figure stepping out of ancient legend into the modern day. While the first mixtape is a profile on who August is, what side of Yoongi he represents, and what parts of Yoongi's life he's inspired from, the second mixtape is all about hindsight.
This is one of the best music videos ever. Like, it's it kind of reminds me of the Kendrick Lamar Humble music video because it's just so stylish and so cool.
Parts of Yoongi's life he's inspired from. The second mixtape is all about hindsight. The past is no longer the main story, it's the backstory. This second mixtape is all about reflection, and using historical forms of music and storytelling in combination with his rap translates that perspective into sound. D2 does reference the first mixtape.
Nice.
But characterizes this August as one with new psychoses and anxieties and fueled by new motivations.
Alright, I want to sit Suga down and have a discussion about laziness, because I think laziness is a title that is given out, you know, incorrectly, erroneously to lots of people. I used to think I was lazy, and there's a difference between laziness and a lack of motivation, the difference between laziness and, you know, mental health issues. For example, as an ADHD person, you might hear that label being thrown at you, especially if you have, you know, difficult parents. You might hear that label thrown at you a lot. You're lazy, you're lazy. But laziness is someone who doesn't want to do something and is very happy not doing that. If you're a person who can't find the energy to do something and feels very bad about that, you're not lazy. You probably need therapy, or, you know, you might have you know, you might be neurodivergent, you might have ADHD, you might have something else going on, you might be chronically depressed, you might have all of the above. And it's like, Sugar, mate, there's no way you're lazy, and you know, I want you to stop the negative thinking and the negative self-projecting by calling yourself lazy. No one who's lazy makes music like this. Or
it anymore. D2 is a lot more interrogative. The first mixtape is a collection of statements, but D2 poses questions.
I feel like this is kind of what I was talking about just then. The person who isn't sick in the world that is sick gets treated as a mutant. Like, if you don't fit into society's very narrow definition of a human being, like, if you are slightly neurodivergent, if you can't work 10 hours a day and embrace it and love it, if you can't take capitalism as your one true god and savior, you're treated like a freak, when you might actually be more human than the people who think working 14 hours a day is normal.
A lot of that surety and certainty in the first mixtape is replaced with contemplation and rejection.
And to address what someone said in my chat, if you hear me talking about ADHD and you relate to what I'm saying, it doesn't necessarily mean you have ADHD, but it's something to consider. There are online resources you can use. You can search ADHD online test, and you can look into it. Because the thing that's the biggest mindfuck about ADHD is when you first start researching it, if you do have it, you look at these things that are like diagnoses, you look at these things that are telltale signs of having ADHD, and you think to yourself, but surely everyone deals with that. Like, everyone has trouble with time management, and everyone struggles doing things at work that they don't want to do. Like, everyone only wants to do stuff that they really, really are into, and if not interested in it, they can't focus. And the answer's, well, no, actually. There's people that don't have those issues, and it sounds weird because it's so hard to imagine that wouldn't be the case for everyone. But if that isn't your experience, you wouldn't know. And that's the biggest thing to get over when you understand ADHD, is the realization that actually Like the you know, the way you act isn't necessarily normal, or it's not the thing that everyone else does. That there is, you know, I don't know. I still can't get over that sometimes. So, yeah, if you ever find yourself relating to what I'm saying about ADHD, at the very least you can look into it. Or, you know, there's other things that can cause ADHD, like symptoms. Anxiety and ADHD are often like hand in hand. Depression as well. It doesn't necessarily mean you have ADHD, but it's good to be mindful of, at least so you can practice self-love. Because the idea that you're a failure or you're a terrible person, if, for example, there's this thing that you should do that you want to have done deep down, but that you don't have the energy to do, it doesn't mean you're lazy, it doesn't mean you're a terrible person. There's a difference. You know, intent is so important. See, I think only a good person asks that question. Because there's not really any good people out there who go around loudly saying, I'm a good person. They're usually the worst people.
Yoongi loves it. Very quick review. First person uses I, second person uses you. In this case, third person uses he. And then from there we have limited, where the speaker is limited to what he can see, hear,
You're welcome, Zaina.
And omniscient, where the speaker has unlimited knowledge like a god. In his solo music, you refers more to a group you. Anyone who doubted him, anyone listening, the anonymous you, the nebulous you. You as in haters, you as in big companies, you as in the enemy. I'm sure Yoongi had specific names when he wrote these mixtapes, but these yous are not named and characterized the way August is. They're deliberately washed together, this insignificant mass of people beneath August. They have no accomplishments or personalities to set them apart. Other characters are props for characterizing August. This second person is used to add more dimension to the first person. Over time, Suga's writing plays with perspective when it comes to discussing himself. Suga will switch between the first, second, and third person to discuss himself in different ways, whether sympathetic, judgmental, or condemning. There's a really interesting exchange of perspectives in his solo interlude Shadow off the 7 album. In Shadow, the first-person perspective represents his external self. This first-person external self is gradually corrupted by an internal shadow who uses the second person. This difference leads to an intense argument between the two selves over which one is the real Suga and which one is the facade.
This is a great segment of this video, really good, because I feel like the whole inner dialogue and struggle with, like, personification, and also as far as, like, you know, which person you use to describe yourself. Like, I'm sure lots of us who have anxiety can relate to that thing of, you know, especially in your teens or something, thinking, oh wait, I'm talking to myself in the second person, or even like I'm using we, I'm using the term we, I must have schizophrenia. Like, that's such a common anxiety to have. And the answer, in case you're wondering, which I was told by a therapist, which was very reassuring, is if you think to yourself, I think I have schizophrenia, you probably don't have it. People who actually have schizophrenia usually are not self-aware about it. And also, once you hit the age of like 24, 25, if you haven't been diagnosed with it and, you know, you pretty obviously don't have it, then that's it. Like, you know, usually it starts showing up in your early 20s at the latest. And if you're past that, you're probably already safe. Probably just anxiety. That's a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah, the whole, you know, person thing, like, you know, I feel like I can kind of plot periods of my life when I'm more confident or happier because I'll use the first person when talking to myself more, like I. But then more recently, it's been you. It's back to that scolding term of you. You should have done this. You didn't do this. And then I start thinking, why am I calling myself you? That's weird. But it's not weird. But I think it is a very interesting thing of how we relate to ourselves, and as far as what, you know, person we use when talking to ourselves. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Gray. Respect. It probably is better just to embrace these things. This is what I should be saying to myself when I'm using the second person.
In the music video, there's this implied third perspective where the audience gets separated from the speaker and gets to watch the debate happen without interference, but it's really not stated in the lyrics. Suga is using different perspectives to personify the narrator's internal conflict and illustrate a psychological concept through character play and point of view. Yoongi's writing draws out the psychologies of each speaker and uses them as scales to reflect larger themes. His writing is scathing, hilarious, and deeply empathetic, which goes to show why so many fans love his style and his voice.
And his face as well. Nice.
J-Hope has been involved in the creation of every BTS album. He's one of BTS's primary songwriters and composers. He's been publishing
And
music since
the most
before
stylish. I mean, let's just pause this for a second, but look at this jumper. Like, he looks magnificent in this jumper.
and composers. He's been publishing music since before debut, and he's written in Korean, English, and Japanese.
This is a bop. I'm loving this.
J-Hope has one mixtape, which is, of course, Hope World. He actually doesn't write alone, like, ever. He almost always has a co-writer, and it's usually the other members of the rap line. In fact, the one song of his that I found that didn't have a co-writer, he took the opportunity to absolutely bash on pigeons.
Pigeons being, like, casual listeners that don't understand his lyrics, I assume. I mean, one verse is an absolute bop. Wow, and another super chat from Alicia Laura. Thank you so much. I'll get back to these super chats later and read them out in full, but I see that. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate this.
J-Hope's style is characterized by his unique tone, stylistic repetition, and strong transition.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the pigeon was metaphorical, but okay.
His writing is performance writing. He has a lot of versatility in his lyrics. He can be zany and ironic, but also intense and aggressive.
I love that sentiment.
I think his writing lives on
It's so true. Yeah, everyone's angry, but when you project that anger onto someone else is when you become a dick, and it's inconsiderate.
Recognized in contrast to the other members of the rap line. J-Hope's stances tend to be a bit more bug-eyed and borderline unhinged. I mean, yeah, Suga can absolutely unhinge his jaw and go for the jugular, but J-Hope comes onto a track like he's from another world. His flow incorporates a lot of theatricality.
Seriously, when I heard this cipher, I said his flowiness is so cool. It's just so over the top. I like it. See, I think somebody mentioned this section of the video in my last one, and they cited her calling him bug-eyed as an insult, but I don't think that's an insult. I think, like, because I feel that way about myself. I feel like I'm completely wacky and out there. That's not a bad thing. It just makes him unique. Like, you know, he is really, like, it's very loopy uniqueness, but it also shows self-confidence. Like, you have to really be confident in yourself to be like, I'm going to do the most crazy thing I can think of. I'm going to go for the most wild flow I can think of. Like, that takes confidence and skill.
Suga can absolutely unhinge his jaw and go for the jugular, but J-Hope comes onto a track like he's from another world. His flow
See, that to me, that's a compliment. Like, this bit of the track is so good.
He really does love
Gnocchi, great pasta, great pasta.
The same way, but he'll twist the in-betweens to kind of rope the audience into the narrative.
I so relate to his lyrics. Like, I think the thing about empathy is it means you do kind of comprehend other people's hatred. Like, you know, I understand where you're coming from. Then the irony is people who have, like, for example, I don't know, narcissism or sociopathy, for example, they might not be able to comprehend why other people actually have empathy. You know, that's why you hear that term virtue signaling. I don't think those people are capable, ironically, because they have no empathy. They're not capable of comprehending that other people do have empathy, that other people do actually feel things for other people. And then the flip side of that is I can understand why people feel hatred, but my logic again is why would you share it? Like why? And if you do feel hatred, you know, get therapy. Don't share it. Or share it with a professional.
J-Hope's poetry is really catchy. He doesn't write sound for some big illustrious meaning, he's writing it because it sounds good. The repetition creates strong hooks in every line. The variation in consonants but the repeated vowels give shape and definition to the rhythm and ride of the verses.
See, if I remember this song, Like, I love the beat in the chorus, but the beat outside of the chorus,
His
I don't
verses have
like.
such
It's a really
complete
weird.
sound ideas. You want to listen to the whole thing to hear these transitions between the pared down, dancey, almost comedic singing, to the suddenly choppy two-syllable bite, and finally that resigned long O and the almost sighs in each couplet. J-Hope's songs are always so fun to listen to because the punchy syllables and constant change-ups are unpredictable, yet somehow just right.
Okay.
Where Namjoon and Yoongi write long, fast, punching blocks of text followed by sudden sections of cooldown, Hosuk prefers transitions in his writing, and he likes to tweak the syllables in each verse as he leaves one type of performance and moves into another.
It is true, like, from what I've seen of, you know, the different styles, J-Hope's is very much more, like Suga will basically overwhelm you with words, RM will overwhelm you with, like, you know, metaphors, imagery, and J-Hope, he doesn't go for that kind of approach. Like, he kind of, it's not, I don't know, it's not simplicity, but he kind of like, well, there's repetition, for example, like the songs they were just playing, he likes using the same sound over and over again. You know, it's just a different style.
Hosuk prefers transitions in his writing, and he likes to tweak the syllables in each verse as he leaves one type of performance and moves into another.
Like, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a xylophone, you know, a rising scale. Like she says, he's repeating the same kind of syllable sounds and tweaking them, which is obviously a very, very different style to Suga's or RM's, but really, really cool. Like, it's still very, very much, you know, very, very intelligent playing with language. And his songs at times are a little bit more emo, a little bit more flowery, a little bit more like imagery. I mean, look at this. Rainbow Road, Pains in the Dark, The Cold Air Was Frozen by Sighs. Very cool stuff. Very, very flowery. Maybe really what the debate between, or this controversy between, like, the difference between Suga, RM, and J-Hope's music is maybe just more that, like, Suga and RM's styles are a little bit more similar. J-Hope's is a little bit more kind of different. But that doesn't mean they can't complement each other, and it doesn't mean that one is worse than the other, you know? I just think he's got slightly less in common with them as far as, like, the way he raps. But it's good. You know, variety's the spice of life. They're all pretty different. I can just see why people might categorize RM and J-Hope, RM and Suga in the same kind of sphere.
He plays with the audience, casually remarking that his life must have been regret after regret until his death with this big smile in his voice. Where RM and Suga have dry wit and dark humor, J-Hope is straight fucking funny.
That's the best way of complimenting your audience.
In the same way that comedy has setups and punchlines, Hosuk's writing has plans and payoffs. The use of sound effects, interjections, imitations, and casual dialogue in his writing provide an extremely entertaining and occasionally scathing tone. By keeping these things to the...
Yeah, some good points being made in my chat right now. Flesh to Fly says the rap is based on the rhythm of his dance. Yara says his style is more dancey. Zaina says, talking about Blue Side, but it's so true, like, I feel like J-Hope delivers as much of the meaning in his lyrics through his delivery and flow, you know?
Bone and using these theatrical details in his narratives, J-Hope's writing demonstrates its own version of micro and macro, and it creates sensation without having to get flowery.
This man is so nice and friendly, he can't comprehend anger.
In his solo music, I would say he's somewhat less message-driven than the other members and is more interested in creating sounds that he wants to listen to.
Okay. Yeah, I know about that because I feel like, you know, I took away plenty of message from his mixtape, which was basically him trying to spread as much positivity as he could. But this is all valid criticism. Because, again, before I had read this video, I read there was a little bit of drama about this person insulting J-Hope, and I haven't really seen that yet. And I think it is unfortunate that, you know, I mean, I've fallen foul of that as well. It's you know, the problem is the bigger an artist is, the more fans they have, and then out of those fans, you're going to have 0.001% of people who are just like really, really intense and really, really defensive, which is fine. But the point is, when it's BTS and they have 1 billion fans, that 0.001% actually represents a decent amount of people, and you can fall foul of those people quite easily. I mean, maybe she said something worse at the end here. I don't know, and I do disagree that his message, that he doesn't have much message in his raps, because I felt like, you know, I took plenty away from Hope World, but I don't think there's anything mean in here. So, you know, if it did start a whole war in her comments, and that's unfortunate. It is one of the unfortunate side effects of you know, of talking about something that people relate to this much, because people get very, very defensive about it, and they might, you know, and they might misinterpret your intentions as well, is the other thing.
In this case, the message is servicing the sound, not the other way around. His lyrics feature themes like dancing, self-respect, self-acceptance, and friendship. His style is focused on the spectacle of sound at the end of the day. Basically, when you put them together...
I mean, for me, the theme of this song and the Hope World mixtape, like, Hope World for me is his characterization of this like blissful kind of like optimist universe he's built for himself. And I think he said before that, you know, this wasn't something he was born with. He had to kind of like work and strive for and kind of earn this optimistic mindset. And I think the Hope World is exactly that. It's the optimism. So I feel like there is a message there, but you know, again, this is like her opinion, and I don't see anything offensive about it.
Sound at the end of the day. Basically, when you put them together, RM is James, Suga is Jesse, and J-Hope is Meowth.
well, yeah, that might upset people. I love Meowth though, so. Okay, now for Jin.
Right now, Jin hasn't written any songs by himself. He is, however, a co-writer on most of his solo songs and a few group tracks. He co-writes mostly with Slow Rabbit and RM. Jin's lyrics are clean and honest. He really fits the standard for emotional pop, where the priority is catchy hooks and uncomplicated but vulnerable lyrics. His earlier
okay, now this bit is going to be very interesting to me because, you know, as far as their individual writing styles, I'm mostly aware of RM, you know, like, I'll see a song and I'll be like, oh, RM wrote this, oh, Suga wrote this. You know, I haven't really paid attention or been aware of when a song has been written by one of the non-rap lines, so this bit is going to be interesting.
Co-writer on most of his solo songs and a few group tracks. He co-writes mostly with Slow Rabbit and RM. Jin's lyrics are clean and honest. He really fits the standard for emotional pop, where the priority is catchy hooks and uncomplicated but vulnerable lyrics. His earlier works in songs like Awake and Tonight show honest, simple lines that stack together sweetly. His earlier imagery is mostly one-liners or two-liners, and the overall song stays in one emotional tone. I saw someone say on one of the various sites that Awake was written purely by RM and Jin had nothing to do with it. They cited no source for this, and everywhere else I've looked cites Jin as the second writer. So, I'm going to assume, at least somewhere in this song, some of the lyrics are Jin's.
I could see this big Jin's. It doesn't sound like RM to me. Like, it sounds very different from RM stuff.
Jin's writing is like diary writing or confessional writing, and I don't mean immoral confessions like Jin killed a man and then he buried him under the floorboards.
Well, maybe Jin did kill a man.
His heart. I mean more that his emotions, usually his anxieties, are at the forefront. Complex rhyme schemes and sonic poetry don't play as huge a role. Jin doesn't seem to care about sounding like a genius or playing 3D chess with the audience. I think he just likes to talk to his fans through his lyrics. He doesn't seem to care about overcomplicating things.
Yeah, I mean, these are very direct lyrics. Very tragic lyrics as well.
His more recent work shows a jump in style and tone. Songs like Moon and Abyss are incredibly descriptive, with allusions and imagery that span multiple verses. Jin shows an understanding of emotional subtext and an appreciation for extended metaphors, particularly ones that involve nature as a vessel for pain or longing.
Yeah, thematically very, very different. Interesting as well. Let's have a look at this again. The more I run out of breath. Maybe you're walking into a deeper ocean, just like me in the ocean. I like the idea that you relate to somebody because you feel... Then that's so true. I think it's actually quite true. I think often, you know, I'm interpreting this way. I feel like we relate to people more when we kind of have shared negative experiences. You know what I mean? I mean, my rabbits would agree. The way to make rabbits be friends is called trauma bonding. You bond them through trauma. An extreme example, but I feel like this whole thing of you being in a deeper ocean and just like me in the ocean, it's like, hey, we're in the same boat here. As in, we're not in a boat, we're in the ocean. You see what I did there? That's an ocean pun.
Jin's songs do have some gapping. There are lines that will die out early or kind of like misjudge the length of the measure and then taper off with a random yeah or ooh. Momo has this same issue in Twice, where the line is going along normally, the syllables are all there, and then it kind of just goes quiet or has like an oh yeah at the end where there's clearly supposed to be more lyrics. When you look at the chorus of Abyss, which is written by RM, you can see really strong form, and based on what Jin has said about this song, he seems to prioritize emotional content, speaking his vulnerabilities and anxieties in honest and poetic ways. That definitely sounds like style to me. Eking and overstuffing are signs of growing pains, and like how RM's overstuffing became less present over time, I'm sure we're going to see the same with Jin's gapping.
Curious. I mean, this whole overstuffing thing is just like beyond me. I mean, like, the second I heard that term, I'm like, oh, I'm impressed. This person knows music theory, as in they know music and theory, what the words mean. I've got no clue. But couldn't also overstuffing and understuffing be deliberately used, you know, as a device, as a stylistic device? I mean, it's all evocative.
Over time, I'm sure we're going to see the same with Jin's gapping.
I like that. Well, also he sounds beautiful as well.
I think the partnership with RM and Slow Rabbit has helped give these songs their catchy form. Regardless, Jin's solo songs tend to be some of my favorites. The writing just strikes the balance between imagery and catchy one-liners.
Wow. That's a real man. Like, this is next level consent. He's like, would it be okay to even look at you, milady? I like that. That's such a huge thing, isn't it? The very first part of a relationship that grows is eye contact, looking at each other, try not to stare too much. You know, are they looking at me? Am I looking at them? I like the way he's conveyed that.
Jin's been very open about being inspired by real life, such as Abyss, which he wrote because he felt he wasn't showing his fans the struggles he was going through, or Tonight, which he wrote in memory of his pets. I feel that Jin's lyrics are often written with vocal expression in mind. There are lines that make me think he knew exactly what kind of singing he wanted, so he chose words that would let him do that.
She's basically saying he's like Nickelback, trying to make sure he can go, yeah! Moon goes up and down! Plenty of syllables and vowels.
His solos are ones I always look forward to because they bring out the depth and simplicity, and Jin's writing is flooded with gorgeous allusions to nature, particularly the moon and the ocean.
True. Oh, this is a banger of a song. One of the songs I've made the effort of adding straight to my iTunes.
And 9 composition credits. Right now, he's yet to publish a song by himself, and he has the fewest writing credits in BTS, but his work has created some of BTS's most
Well, he was
beloved
busy getting his hair
sides
dyed
and
that
even
color,
melodies,
and it was
like
worth
Blood,
it.
Sweat and Tears and The Bridge of Disease. Jimin is similar to RM in topic, in that his lyrics are largely about identity, but different in technique. RM's identity pieces are either rebellious and bold, or self-searching and sad. Jimin's identity pieces are sensitive and occasionally sinister. His work can be a bit existential, and he has his own brand of character writing that's a bit different than Yoongi's.
Yeah. When she said sinister, I was like, well, steady on. But then I was like, yeah, I guess Lie is a bit sinister, so I'll agree with that.
Jimin's identity pieces are sensitive and occasionally sinister. His work can be a bit existential, and he has his own brand of character writing that's a bit different than Yoongi's. This is still
Definitely a
one of
little
my
bit
3
sinister.
favorite BTS solos,
Snakes are
and
sinister.
One of my
I mean,
favorite K-pop songs
the
of
S,
all
the
time.
S.
Like all the solos off the Wings album, this song is meant to be a part of the larger Damien inspiration, since Wings is a concept album, but the lyrics still ring very raw and personal. While several people are given credits for the writing, Jimin has spoken a lot about his personal drafting for this song, and RM gives him the majority of credit for the lyrics.
되었으면 좋겠습니다. 그리고 라이입니다. 많은 분들이 사랑해주신 라이, 지민이의 노래죠. 최근에 이 곡에 대해서 지민이랑 얘기를 좀 잠깐 했었어요. 그래서 근데 이 가사를 지민이가 썼다는 걸 제가 몰랐어요. 근데 지민이가 사실 그 전에 제대로 작사 작곡을 해본 적이 없었거든요. 시도는 많이 했었어요. 저랑도 같이 해보고. 근데 그래서 이 가사를 다 지민이가 썼는데 저는 지민이가 쓴 노래를
That's like a neg.
그냥 이렇게 그때를 생각하면서 힘들게 써갔는데 피독 형이 듣자마자 정말 너무 잘 썼다고, 이 노래와 너무 잘 맞는 가사라고, 대박이었다고.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite BTS songs.
지금 들어봐도 사실 이 가사가 아니면은 그 노래가 어떻게 될까 상상이 될 정도로 너무 저는 가사를
I mean, the beat is great,
어려운 말도
but
없고 되게 완벽하게
the singing really tops it
I
off, you
think
know?
Lie is very precious to a lot of people. It has deeply personal and dark lyrics, and it sort of violently externalizes mental struggles.
I'm caught in a lie every single day. Every single day I turn the camera on and I'm like, hello, human beings, I'm one of you. And that line as well, like, I think I kind of related it this way when I was reacting to the song initially, but, you know, it's that, like, the lie is that you're fine and everything's okay, and you kind of get trapped in it into a degree where it's like, because you put on this face, this brave face of being okay, that you don't even, it's almost like you've accepted your fate. It's like you're not raging against, you know, the sadness, not raging against the lack of happiness. You've just kind of started pretending, and pretending is comfortable. And in this line I relate to so much, give me back my laughter, like, yes please. I feel like it's very rare where I have a laugh and it feels good and wholesome and full, you know. Oftentimes I feel like I laugh because I know I should, conceptually what I've heard is funny, and I want to reward the other person for saying something conceptually funny.
From the way RM talked about the process of Lie, I get the same feeling with Jimin that I get with Momo sometimes, that this song was likely partially produced and composed before the lyrics were written, and some of the lyrics are built to suit the sound of the song and the vocal expression. This is just speculative, but I get the feeling he knows what he wants to do with his voice even before he has the words. Since he's credited as the main composer on songs like Promise, that wouldn't surprise me.
Is this Jimin singing? That's impressive. Like, it sounds like a female vocalist. It's
Like
so high,
Suga,
it's good.
Jimin's songs incorporate strong second-person perspectives, but these lyrics write to a very specific you who acts more like a named character, whereas in Suga's music, they're more an ambiguous listener or a group audience.
I also relate to this. My posture is terrible. Hello, Ayana.
I like the way
Love that
Jimin
repetition.
plays with the you character, since many of his songs put the speaker in question. He writes a lot of not necessarily unreliable narrators, but narrators who are aware they're lying to themselves, and sometimes we're supposed to question who's the real speaker. When he uses you in a song, you can start out seemingly like a completely different character, but soon reveal yourself to actually be another persona of the speaker or a dangerous mentality of the speaker. Jimin's speaker becomes
I
his
always
own
forget that.
antagonist through the manipulation of perspective. Very Jekyll and Hyde. Jimin does have some sonic poetry as well.
I feel like it's one of like if he sang like this all the time, his voice box would explode. It's crazy.
This stanza has a lot
like
of
honey.
verse construction between
like
your
singing
line and your
finest
mind,
organic
intro
honey.
and end, which establishes a pattern. But then the pattern and repetition are interrupted by this line at the end, which admits it's all a lie. It's not what he really feels. This line doesn't rhyme with the stanza or fit the patterns and rhythms of the previous lines. So as an audience, we're sonically lulled into the ease and repetition of the lines that make up the lie.
Great
but
analysis.
the reality of the situation is an audible interruption that doesn't fit. The comfort of lying to yourself is contrasted with cold, hard truth through sound. Jimin seems very selective about what writing tactics make it into each song. In Lie, Jimin is capable of personifying that fight against the mask through the false second person and the interrupted verse construction. In songs like Promise and Friends, he uses more imagery and conversational dialogue. I get the feeling Jimin is familiar with the rewrite
I always
process.
like that.
None of his songs feel accidental or half-baked. I think working with RM might give him a good sounding board. I really like their collaborations since they're both so involved with identity and mentalities. They both love poetry, so more of that, yes please. I would also love to see Jimin branch out and write some songs by himself.
He's got the skill.
Taehyung has been writing here and there since the early days of BTS, but recently he started publishing more often. In 2020 alone, he published 5 new songs. Taehyung is such an art student, and his lyrics are crazy sensory. His style fits ballads, since catchiness and hooks aren't as important as emotional narratives. I would categorize him as an externalized writer, using the world to make
I don't know on face value if I could think offhand of like these lyrics, but based on his personality and his whole Tay-Tay language, I'm gonna guess they're completely abstract, flowery, and out there.
sensory. His style fits
That's my
ballads,
guess.
since catchiness and hooks aren't as important as emotional narratives. I would categorize him as an externalized writer, using the world to make observations about himself and his experiences.
So far, so true. Yep, there it is. Tay-Tay language. This is like romanticism almost, you know. Very flowery. It's taken the lyrical path less traveled. I like the ego-ness there. The world's full of white flowers to make our time more special. And see, immediately that makes me think of that feeling you get, first love, when the world is perfect and happiness resounds from your body. And everything seems designed just for you, you know, because the world, rather than being this miserable, bleak place that can cause anxiety, it's suddenly like everything makes sense and everything's nice today, and oh, that flower is there for me and for our love. It's a very evocative line. Yeah, seems like that kind of first love kind of thing. Guess that vibe.
He is the textbook definition of a style writer. Simply stunning visual language. His characterization of emotions, memories, and the world is immersive. You can really sink into the imagery and sensory details. Taehyung is a gift for headspaces, and the emotional world building of a song, if you could call it that, His earlier songs have writing on the simpler side, sometimes just listing vague feelings or actions and naming his thoughts very presently.
This is like some slow R&B. This is saucy. I like how breathy his voice is.
Stigma is more of a catalog of loosely connected statements with similar emotional tones. There is a broader narrative, but the lyrics stay pretty surface level and textual. By 4 o'clock, V starts developing imagery, metaphor, and extended figurative language.
He's obsessed with the moon and whiteness, white flowers. He should have been an astronaut or a stargazer. It's like placating someone who's tricky. I lit a small candle, which was not as beautiful as you, to be clear.
Taehyung talks about writing from real life. His own experiences and feelings are the groundwork for most of his language. He writes very specific moments.
Wow, he's trying to beat Jimin for most likely to destroy his vocal box in one song.
His writing can be quite
That's very soothing.
soliloquy-esque, based off just one experience he had, or a memory, or a real-life minute. A full verse, or even an entire song, could be dedicated to just a couple seconds of his life.
I relate to that, because I feel like my life is a series of not much emotion and then a lot of emotion at once. So I would kind of write about moments. I also don't go outside very often, so it's like not much to pick from. Maybe he's the same way. Was this like an accompanying soundtrack to Rio? I think that's supposed to be a compliment. You look like a blue parrot.
I think Taehyung's
think that's
lyrics
a compliment.
could potentially go the slightly indie route in the future. He writes lines that stress obscure details for emotional impact, use nature as an allegory for human states of mind, and aren't necessarily logical, but each word is chosen to bring out a specific feeling or picture. Okay, so Jungkook is Jungkook, and as such he does everything, and sometimes all at once. He's got the most writing credits outside the rap line. He's been writing and producing since he was a kid. He's written in Korean, English, and Japanese. He's a writer, a producer, a director, and even an instrumentalist for some of BTS's music. Jungkook, like Suga, is someone you could argue is a character writer, but I hesitate to plant my foot on that. Suga is almost purely about the self of a character. I think it's more accurate to say Jungkook is a relationship writer. His strongest pieces are between a speaker and another person. Like, not just me, but you and me.
Because it's BTS, you can't be sure he's not writing to like RM right now. Like, he's emerged from the studio and he's like, RM, I missed you.
Unlike RM, Suga, and J-Hope, who write like they're talking to themselves or about themselves, Jungkook's lyrics are usually written like they're directed at another person. He seems to love exploring interpersonal relationships. Where the rap line is very introspective and writes as if they're trying to reach their true inner selves, Jungkook writes very externally. His lyrics describe emotions created between two people through their relationship.
The long night seems to flow after you. Kind of very beautifully describes the extreme effects of time dilation that love can invoke. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but, you know, love, friendship, communion, like... if you want proof of this, then try, or don't try, because it's horrible, but a long-distance relationship. Never will the effects of time dilation, and time as relativity be more clear than when in a long-distance relationship. Because, you know, it can make a month feel like about 10 to 15 years, and it can make one day feel like 2 seconds. There's both extremes.
꺼져가 why 네 눈에 떠 있어 내가 보이지 않니
Jungkook writes these very desperate emotional moments where the speaker is trying to reach someone who can't hear them, whether because they can't process his pain or they can't process their own pain. The speaker describes the world in shades of his own emotions, time, night, and you. This relationship between these two people is the landscape of the world. As the love interest disappears, time and nature are warped by that absence, causing the speaker to question what he's seeing. This is some very romantic writing.
Oh man, seriously, these lyrics are just reminding me so much of the long distance relationship thing. Oh,
Love
it's
is
like
Not Over
tricky
is what I
to
would call a
hear.
powerless narrative, also known as an imperfect narrative. This is a narrative where the speaker or protagonist or hero is not in control of the narrative and is instead helpless to do anything but respond with emotions. In Love is Not Over, the speaker is powerless to stop the heartbreak and the separation between the two characters. We've actually talked about powerless narratives before on this channel, back when I talked about TXT's Eternally, and a lot of you were really into that.
And again, the hopelessness thing, long distance thing. Yeah, like when you know, long distance relationship, and let's say you get to see each other for 2 weeks. For the first, week, you could be in this blissful state. Time travels very quickly, but it's also magnificent. It's like being in a fugue state, a dreamy, blissful state. But then once you hit the last few days before you have to say goodbye, it's like a car crash you can see coming and cannot avoid, and it's the most painful and bizarre experience.
Discussion. If anyone wants a video
These
about
lyrics.
powerless narratives in K-pop, let me know. When a gifted writer works a
I
powerless
don't know if I can handle
narrative,
that,
they
but
can
maybe.
force the speaker to fully externalize all emotions. By stripping any element of choice or power from the situation, the character is left with only emotional reaction.
Love is not over, over, over. Love is not over, over, over. Love
Yeah, I could have used this track 8 years ago, whatever it was.
That phrase, love is not over, isn't just about how love is stronger than any fight, it's this delusion of the speaker trying to piece his relationship back together. You can hear the speaker go through every stage of grief except acceptance. It's kind of funny, but Jungkook's lyrics feel like letters written to somebody incredibly important. The poetry holds so much intention, and the speaker's words are chosen as if there's someone on his mind he wants to reach. While this style is present in a lot of his lyrics, depending on the song's message or the theme of the album, the word choice becomes specific to each type of relationship.
I like that. A voice brushing past you. It's very evocative. Yeah, see, this is like romanticism. It's very, very flowery. Very imagery heavy. Metaphor
It's like
heavy.
an active character study on different relationships, each from the perspective of a different letter writer. Where the speaker in Love is Not Over is being left behind, the speaker in Still With You is striking out in search of the other person. Again, that figurative landscape of love, but this time with a totally different tone. The subtext in this opening implies a dead relationship, a voice that's passing, a frozen sunset, but the statements of the speaker change the narrative. Still With You features an empowered narrator.
Now this really sums up the introvert's mantra, or the thing of being I shouldn't take comfort in being at home in my apartment, in my house, because it's not good for me mentally, but I still seek it out. If my brain made sense, I would seek out sunshine, I would seek out the outdoors because that makes me happy, but then I seem to take relief in doing things that I know are making me miserable long term. And the air conditioner gets a mention. I mean, I relate to that because when I'm filming, the AC comes on, and I've embraced it at this point because there's nothing worse than being overheated when you're filming.
Jungkook employs a lot of subtext in his lyrics, obsessively describing the small, annoying details in his room, the lack of lights, the hum of the air conditioner. The audience can start to see kind of how far gone he is when he admits that sitting in pitch darkness is familiar to him at this point. Okay, how do I say this delicately? Still With You is intimately aware of mental fuckery. With very few words, Jungkook tells us that the speaker is at his tipping point. This verse reminds me of when you've had an extremely awful day and everything has gone wrong, and you get home and you drop a glass or something, and it's the broken glass that sends you into tears. If I don't even have this, I'm just gonna completely break down.
So he's saying the AC is like a constant hum, and if he loses that hum, he's gonna lose his mind. Something unpleasant about the term wet feet, isn't there? Sticky feet.
Also, this is beautiful imagery. I feel like Jungkook is absolutely an imagery writer. Lines like, even if I dance alone, it still rains, I'm gonna run to you on my wet feet, gives me classic Florence and the Machine vibes, like Lung's album Cosmic Love vibes. So, his speakers have relationships with their love interests, but Jungkook as a writer has a relationship with the world. Like RM, he's aware of his own status as like an idol and an artist and a celebrity. His writing seems spurred on by a genuine interest in putting good in the world. I think Jungkook is driven by a desire to move others with his music, where the rap line can be very self-reflective, often debating their own places in the world and their own attitudes about themselves. Jungkook's writing largely excludes the self.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Even if you tell the truth, it'll return as scars. And it's interesting because in a way, sharing experiences, traumatic experiences, or just sharing your feelings is a good thing. But it does also bring that stuff up again. It can, you know, bring back the scars. Or even telling the truth could lead to, like, you know, it might be a bold and important thing to do, but it might lead to, you know, a breakup. It might lead to disagreements. I like that line a lot. And thank you very much for the super chat, Gray. I appreciate that super chat a lot too. Thank you very much. I also love that sentiment. Not telling people what they want to hear, but telling them your own story, rather than being like, you'll be okay. Tell them what happened to you, and then they can relate from that and decide if they'll be okay. You can't tell people they're going to be okay, but you can relate to them and say, well, this happened to me, and I'm all right now. You know.
Himself into the song almost solely as a device to reach whoever the song is addressed to. His speaker is very self-sacrificing or self-diminishing, existing as a vessel for taking on the emotions and pains of others.
It's basically just being a musical therapist, but like a therapist that really cares, because there are therapists that are professional but don't really care, but this guy cares.
According to Jungkook himself, Magic Shop was written for the fans to comfort them during times of pain or struggle. Even in this abstract sense, like artist to fan base, his writing is still about the other person. A noticeable break from this would definitely be My Time, which is very much all about him, but for the most part, his lyrics explore the space between a relationship and the wonder of another person. He also seems drawn to collaborations that focus on these themes.
And a comment here from Vera V saying, I don't know about Rapline not writing about relationships though, especially Yoongi, Autumn Leaves, Seesaw. I think that is one of the problems, is like, because this, I mean, I was thinking about this video earlier, because she basically implied or straight up said she wrote this as a script, as in she basically wrote this as an essay, and it must have been like 20 or 30,000 words. It's incredibly impressive. I mean, it's very, very well written, well delivered as well, but all of that stuff. But the thing about an essay is, you know, when you're following that strict university, like, professorial kind of theme of an essay, you kind of, you know, you find your conclusion, you find your thesis, and then you have to make stuff fit. And there are times when you might be writing something and be like, I don't even know if I agree with that, but my thesis says this, and I can make it fit, so here we go. Maybe that's the case here, I don't know. But I guess overall, that the idea is that Jungkook writes more about external people and about, you know, emotions, other people, how he relates to them, which, you know, from what I've seen, I can agree with, I guess.
Jungkook loves a good heartbreak song, but also a good recovery song. His songs are in constant sensation about people, and his speakers take on love for another person as a means of defining himself.
Wow, this is an optimistic and upbeat person. Even the darkness is beautiful. Veering slightly into creep territory. That could backfire and might make them go away immediately.
He uses devices that eliminate the speaker, but in doing so, say a lot about how the speaker views himself. I think music is a really good place to explore darker mentalities. Jungkook is a writer who can dip his mind into these self-eliminating places, but also places of comfort and healing. It just shows how versatile he is as a writer. Now that he's writing more and more by himself, I'm really excited to see what dynamics he'll write next. And that, for now, is that. This is a very long video, sorry about that, and I know it doesn't cover every single song and every single important lyric for each writer, but I do hope that it gave you a chance to enjoy some of the rhetorical devices and narrative tools at play in BTS's lyrics. Every member brings something different.
Definitely given me even more respect for their songwriting abilities, and more importantly, I guess I'm just more thinking about the rap line there. I really had no idea about their individual writing stuff because, as I said, you don't tend to see who wrote what when it's outside of the rap line unless you're looking for it, you know what I mean? So it's been really cool to see the non-rap lines contributions.
Voices, skills, and visuals, but also in terms of stories, emotional complexity, and personal connection to writing as an art form. From identity-based micro to macro writing with RM and Suga, to humor and sound exploration with J-Hope, emotional connections to nature with Jin and V, personal inquisition with Jimin, and interpersonal writing with Jungkook. I don't think it's any surprise that BTS has accumulated a massive audience of teens and young adults going through their own comings of age, people who find understanding in the members' lyrics. Please let me know down below who has your favorite writing style.
I also think the reason BTS has appeal beyond just those age groups is the fact that this stuff never stops being relatable. You know, I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, and I can't even speak for people a lot older than me, but I feel like instinctively I can. But you don't stop having these existential crises just because you hit 35 and you're like, okay, phew, I'm good now. No more depression. No more wondering about my place in life. That's not how it works. Like, their music, you know, I think anyone can relate to this.
Or if there are any lyrics that struck a chord with you. Thank you so much for watching. Keep enjoying writing, and I'll see you guys next time.
I mean, I like writing, but I could never write an hour-long video. Hats off. I feel exhausted just talking about your hour-long video, which is a little bit shameful. I think that was excellent, really, really excellent. I mean, this person presumably is doing some kind of English or music history degree at university, almost certainly getting A+ and A stars. Great job. Great job. And yeah, I mean, unless I missed something, I don't really see the whole apparent controversy about her, you know, not respecting J-Hope. I mean, the reality is, you know, maybe you could be like, oh, well, she loves Suga the most because she wrote the longest category about him. Maybe she does. That's fine. It's not like, you know, I didn't hear her say anything derogatory about J-Hope, and I don't think her saying that his style is wacky is a diss. I think that's a compliment. I hope it is, because I think I'm wacky, and I hope that's a good thing. It's good to be unique and out there. I like the fact that he brings something different to the table. I mean, it's an hour long. You can't talk about everyone for everything, and you're also going to be more drawn towards the things you relate to more. I'd say from this video that she relates to RM and Suga the most. And that's fine, you know, makes sense. Oh, also Jungkook, you know. But anyway, I thought that was a really, really excellent video. Thank you guys for sharing that with me and watching it with me. And if Mara happens to watch this ever, then, you know, massive props. Like, I'd never have the professionalism or skill to write an hour-long video script, let alone perform it. So, you know, my hat's off to you. That was really excellent. You know, good luck with your postgraduate degree, which you're almost certainly doing, because that was crazy. Yeah, and thank you very much to anyone who watched that. And if you enjoyed the reaction, Well, make sure you watch the original video, links in the description, but also make sure you subscribe to my channel and Mira's channel, but you know, mine as well while we're here. I've got a Patreon as well where you can support my channel and you can check out some Run BTS and Bon Voyage reactions. I've got a Discord community in the description. I've got live streams every week, so make sure you subscribe and have the notification bell turned on so you can see when those are. I also post community posts telling you when my lives are. I've got Subscriber Saturdays, which is where you can submit videos or suggest reactions. There's lots of stuff. There's loads of fun to be had, so stick around. Thank you so much for being here, and remember. Alright guys, what do they remember? If does anyone feel like sharing a rhyme? Okay, I'm going to say BTS as a degree. If it hasn't happened yet, I think it's almost certainly someone out there is doing that. But if it hasn't happened yet, it will do. I mean, you know, the Beatles are now degrees lots of places, so BTS is inevitable. Exactly, follow your heart. Alright, a rhyme. And remember, if you like this reaction to the writing styles of BTS, click the subscribe button. Be my guest. Put my reactions to the test. I'll stop there before it gets worse. Thank you. Je suis lumière. Goodbye, Machakova. I'm tired too. I can't pronounce words anymore. Sweet dreams. Nico D'Angelo, thank you for the rhyme. I'm afraid I had you beat, but that is a good rhyme. If I could go back in time and use that rhyme, I would. Still working on the whole time travel thing, I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, what should I react to next? Let me just throw it out there. Maybe if more than one person says the same thing, I'll go from there. Or if I'll make a poll or something. Oh yeah, the super chats. Thank you for reminding me, because I tried to thank you guys while it was happening, but I didn't want to like spoil the video by getting all monetary. So the super chats that happened during that video, I believe. Again, Vanessa McCarthy, thank you so much, and that sticker is adorable. Makes it even better, thank you. And Alicia, to read it, to let you know that we love you and deeply appreciate how hard you work and how consistent you are for your channel. This is way too nice. You've made me laugh happy for 2 years. So like we said in French, merci. That's very, very sweet. Thank you very much. Your message is almost appreciated as much as your money. Almost. But I'm sick in the head. Thank you so much. That's really sweet. Way too flattering. And also, Gray, give me what looks like a lemon grab sticker. I don't know if you guys watch Adventure Time, but that looks like lemon grab. I can do that impression better sometimes. But the guy who talks like a maniac, I think that's also the voice of Rick and Morty. All the Ricks and all the Mortys. So yeah, thank you very much for the donation as well, Gray. I really appreciate you. Now free the nipple. I could free the nipple. I feel like I said I'm free the nipple at $100. You know what? I'll show you my areola. How about the areola? Just the areola. Just gently show the areola. Just like that. That's it. That's all you get. The areola. If we hit 100, I'll give you the areola. Yeah, lemon grab is terrifying. I'm down to make an OnlyFans. Like, after today's dental appointment, where they took all the money that I have on my person, basically, for something that would cost like £10 in the UK, I think OnlyFans is in my future for sure. Alright. I want to make a poll. I'll take 2 more suggestions, because I think you can only do 4 things in a poll. So right now in the poll is Frost by TXT. Is Run BTS also in the poll? I don't think I've seen anything else. Super Tuna, maybe. Oh no, Autumn Leaves. Okay, no, I did get some more suggestions. I apologize. I missed these. Autumn Leaves and Super Tuna. What is Super Tuna? Just sounds like a way of saying great song for like an Australian person. Super Tuna, mate. Super Tuna. Okay. All right. So we have 4 suggestions then. Okay. All right. So I think I have 4 suggestions. So let's make a poll. How do you do that? Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Autumn Leaves. What else was it? Bear with me while I type out a poll. It's thrilling content. Money does buy happiness. I'll just do songs, because otherwise that wouldn't be fair. Okay, who is the next one? What are we looking at? Autumn Leaves. What to do? Super Tuna. Got that. Frosty XT. And Singularity by V. Why does that sound familiar? Have I done that one? Maybe I just heard of it. Okay. There we go. The world's slowest poll. Sorry about that. It's hard for me to read and exist at the same time. Singularity. That sounds so familiar. Maybe I've just seen it. This is like the smuggest face I've ever seen in my entire life. Look at that. Look at that man. That's a man who's just farted on stage and it didn't get picked up by the mic and he got away with it scot-free. Looks like Super Tuna might be the winner. I hope it is indeed a Super Tuna. Alright, Super Tuna. Super Tuna. I'm assuming unless a late upset happens that Super Tuna is going to be the thing. The one. Do I watch the performance video or do I watch the lyric video? Performance video it is. Wow, it really is only 1 minute long. Thank you very much, Genevieve Higuera, for the $5 donation. Super chat. I should call it super chat. Donation sounds like I'm doing a good cause here. It's too much. The super chat. Thank you so much. You said, love your channel, love your sense of humor. I'm always laughing. Thank goodness. Your emotional side is great too. Thank you very much. And I love that picture. That looks to be you and a dog or a very fluffy cat. Maybe a bunny with very short ears. I'm assuming a dog. I'm a big animal lover, so I enjoy that picture. Thank you very much. Okay, I think Super Tuna won, so let's just say that's done. Let's put that to bed. End poll. This one should have subs, right? It's on Bangtan TV, and it's got whatchamacallit? It's got a subtitle button. Vietnamese auto-generated. Maybe not then. Maybe not. A West Highland Terrier. Well, he looks adorable. I love animals that are way too fluffy. I mean, like, there is a breed of bunny that's called Angora, and they can basically perish because they're so fluffy they can ingest their own fur and their stomach stops working, which is kind of depressing to talk about. But still worth it. Like, the cuteness of a fluffy animal, you know, supersedes the fact that it might be unhealthy. No subs on this video. Should I do the lyric video first and then do the choreography? I am down to do that. What do you guys think? I'll wait for the interaction. Yeah, I don't. My assumption is anytime you click on the subtitle button and the famous words auto-generated comes up, it means they didn't put subtitles in the video. It means YouTube's going to guess for you, which maybe in 10 years will work, but not now. Critters are more evolved than humans. I will agree with you there. I mean, if you think about it, we were discussing capitalism earlier and its pitfalls. My rabbits have got the right idea. All they do all day long is sleep, eat, and poo, and sometimes they eat their own poo. That's the thing. And they're loving life. They're like, I work, other comedian works, and most of our money goes towards propping up their lifestyle. It's like they get to experience socialism, you know. They've got the right idea. They are definitely living their best life. Oh, I need to get a picture of this. My rabbit, I've never seen another rabbit that does this. My new rabbit Bilbo, he's got really funny, thin paws, and he's like a cat. Like, he sits on his paws. I've never seen another bunny do this, but he folds his paws underneath himself like this. And he sits on them, and it's so adorable. He looks so silly. Comment. Bunnies eat poo. Yeah, that is one of the things about rabbits. It's not as gross as it sounds. It's not like a dog. Like, my cousin-in-law has a dog where it just loves its own shit, and it's dog shit, so it's not quite as pleasant. Like, rabbit shit is just a ball of compressed grass, basically, whereas dog shit is like fetid, rotten fish and tuna. I don't know, why am I talking about this on stream? It seems like I'm sure I'll see my viewers start plummeting. But anyway, and that dog will just run up to you, happy as Larry, with a turd hanging out of its mouth, looking like Winston Churchill with a cigar. It's like, we will fight them on the beaches. It's disturbing, and it's sad because it looks so happy. You don't want to judge it for its choices, but it's foul. Whereas rabbits are, that's like a dog with mental illness, basically. Whereas rabbits are actually supposed to eat their own. It's basically like a cow. Whereas cows do that thing where they vomit a bit and then eat it. Again, viewers plummeting as I speak. Rabbits have a thing called cecotroph, which is like, they'll basically do what's a bit like diarrhea, and then they'll eat that straight out of their bum holes. Why am I talking about this? And why do you guys do this? And it never really occurred to me that is kind of gross. And recently I was curious, like, how deep that goes. And again, I don't know why I'm talking about this, admitting this, but I saw my rabbit doing what? Because, you see your rabbits, like, bend over, and I always thought they were, like, just licking themselves, like, cleaning themselves, or maybe just pleasuring themselves gently. I'm not judging. But recently I was curious. I was like, wait, every time I see my rabbit do this, is it actually eating its own shit straight from the source? And to confirm this, I actually bent down and went near my rabbit to see if I would see or smell anything. And my rabbit looked up at me, and it's got brown teeth, and it's like, and the smell of shit was pouring out of its mouth. And I was like, oh God! Like, it actually shattered the cute image I have of my bunnies. It kind of ruined it. I couldn't look at my bunny for a day. It was really sad. Yeah, I deliberately didn't look at the comments while I was talking about this because I knew people would be upset by this. And oh yeah, I've lost about 15 viewers. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Oh no, wait, the viewers have gone up again. Wait, maybe it's the other way around. Talking about rabbit shit is the secret to YouTube success. I can go on. They've got so many different kinds of poo. My boy Bilbo, he's got these huge poos, Bilbo berries I call them. The ladies' poos are like this, his are like fucking omelets. It's crazy. Oh. Anyway, enough about Bilbo's berries. I'll watch the version with lyrics first, so I know what's going on, and I'll watch the performance video. And if you think that's the wrong way around, sue me. Except please don't. I've been cleared out today. The people demand to see the chunky, fluffy, thick rabbit. All right, I'm gonna go and grab Bilbo. He's like sleeping right now, and he's gonna be upset. So I want to see a super chat here when I get back, or I'll go. Bilbo's gonna be upset. I'll go and grab him. This is my big, beautiful baby boy, Bilbo, who makes big old Bilbo berries, don't you? He's a big boy. He's a giant bunny, and he's only a year old. He's going to get bigger. That's why, part of the reason why I picked him. He's like 8 or 9 pounds right now, and when he's finished growing, he should be like 12 pounds. 12 pounds of bun. Wow, I didn't... Mate, you're gold dust. Look at that. 2 super chats. I'm going to bring you out more often. He's like, fuck. This is you. How much does he weigh? Yeah, he's about 9 pounds. He's huge. And he's albino. So he's got beautiful red eyes, you can see. And he wants to get out too. Look, Bilbo, everyone loves you, mate, and I love you too. And I'm sorry for using you. But I'll buy you a bag of bunny treats with the profits. Okay? Don't hate me. He's pretty chill. He's pretty chill. So thank you very much, Doc, for the donation, the bunny donation, and thank you, Alicia Laura, for the bunny donation. I'm gonna bring these bunnies out soon. I might just do a live bunny stream, just like point the camera at them, like put footballs in their little costumes. I think there's probably better content than me talking about their defecation, that's for sure. Guys, bunnies are amazing pets. And big bunnies especially are really interactive. They are honestly like puppies. They're like puppies that are way less maintenance because you can leave the house and leave them and they're fine. Probably preferable. They're like, see a human. Like bunnies are basically like having a teenager. Like, you know, they do love you and you can have, and you know, and they're cheeky, and Bilbo's really cute. He'll run up to me and nudge me. Like he comes, like sometimes I'm on the toilet and he'll run into the bathroom and look at me like judging me like, you're not going to eat that? You're not going to eat that? Jesus. But they're really interactive pets, but they can also be very independent, like, especially when they're in like a pair or a trio, that they'll look at you like, don't need you, not interested. So, Alicia Laura says, I can dress up as a rabbit and go into a cage. That would be some good content. That will be reserved for my OnlyFans. So if you guys are interested in that, OnlyFans. And Genevieve Figueroa, thank you so much again for the other donation. That's really, really sweet of you. Thank you so much, guys, for the donations. I appreciate it, and Bilbo appreciates it. I promise this, I'm not a liar. I'm going to buy him a bag of treats with some of those extra donations because he technically earned it. And then that will make me feel more justified about using him again in the future. Anyway. Nabibi, I'm describing a cat. That's what I'm saying. And cats are really cool. I want a cat one day. But people think rabbits are basically like big hamsters, and that's so not true. There are some bunnies that are more like hamsters, but, you know, like bunnies have great personalities and they're really amazing pets. Sleep with one eye open because they're coming for your rabbits. Sacre bleu. Sacre bleu. My cat judges and slaps me when I play piano. Wow. That's I'm guessing maybe you should perform in like in major keys rather than minor. Maybe it's the minor they don't like. Whew. Anyway, Super Tuna. Guys, I'm going to do the lyrics first because I want to understand it, and then I'll do the performance video. And if you disagree with me on that, then it's too late now. I already have your bunny money. Super Tuna English sub. Okay. Maybe there's a performance video. Oh, okay. Right? Yeah, I'm aware Sacre Bleu is completely outdated. It's like, you know, no one really says bleeding heck in the UK. Not really. I mean, some people in a taxi will, but otherwise, no. The BB says, when I went out of college, my flatmate had a rabbit that she would let loose while I was gone, and it would leave rabbit poops everywhere. Not me seemed to think it was gross. Okay, the thing is, rabbits, if they're trained and they're properly neutered and stuff, they're really clean animals. Like, my rabbits hardly leave any poo anywhere, and it's so easy to hoover it up. And their poo isn't really gross. If they have diarrhea, that's gross. Obviously, diarrhea is pretty gross. I don't think anyone's ever like, that is a lovely diarrhea. It doesn't happen, I'd hope. But rabbit poo normally is really dry, and it's just hay in a ball. It's like, it doesn't smell bad, like... But they're also very, very, very clean animals. They have to be, because in the wild, if they shit everywhere, then an owl's going to be like, well, there's a bunny living there, clearly. Look at all that poo. So that's why they're very clean animals in the wild. So it sounds like your roommate's rabbit wasn't well-behaved or well-trained. The best thing the British gave South Asia was the word bloody. I'm sure it was a fair trade-off for imperialism. I'm sure you guys are thrilled about that. I'm assuming no one also says zut alors anymore. I mean, that's probably ancient as well. Bloody lovely. Bloody lovely. Now that is something you will still hear. Your roommates weren't well trained either. So guys, should I just do this subtitled performance video rather than doing the same video back to back? Should I just do that? That's a yes. Oh yeah, the chat delay is great today. It's really quick. I'm loving it. Okay. This is great fun, guys. This is a great stream. And I'm you know, you guys, this is like, you know, that Shakespeare, that classic sexist Shakespearean line. I think she doth protest too much. The lady doth protest too much. You guys are saying, you know, gross rabbit poo, and then yet the rabbit poo stream is the one where I get the most donations. Coincidence? I think not. So next stream, more rabbits, more rabbit poo, rabbits in diapers, as you guys said. You guys are great. All right, let's get this going before I drive everyone away, including my neighbors. Enjoy your dinner, the BB. I'm right in thinking you were fasting until now, so that's going to be like extra delicious. Maybe if I fasted before having a pizza, it would be like exciting. Next stream, I'll eat rabbit poo. Okay. How much would somebody have to donate before I eat rabbit poo? I'm trying to pretend that, you know, it's like when you're a kid, you're like, £1 million, but let's face it, probably like $200. Honestly, that's how shameless I am. I'd probably eat rabbit shit for $200, and that's now on video. I've got a lot to think about. I'll talk to my therapist about it. Anyway. One of my friend's rabbits had heterochromia. That's cool. Heterochromia is cool for anything. Anyway. God. Jesus Christ. My therapist is going to have a load down. Anyway. I've got to do an intro for this. Hello, people. My name's Comedian, and if you like hearing about rabbit poo, you've come to the right place. I didn't want to hear about that, you said. Well, you'll hate my live streams then. Just had a crazy live stream today, and in between talking about rabbits and their fecal exposures, the chat told me I should do the song Super Tuna, which apparently is wacky and fun. I've got an English subtitled version here, so you know we've got the joy of seeing of you know, Jin in dungarees doing his thing, but also got the subtitles as well, which Big Hit failed to provide us. So this should be a fun time. If you like or hate rabbit poo, make sure you subscribe. Get yourself comfy and settled, because we're going to do this right now. And I promise to stop talking about rabbit poo. Maybe. Okay. So this is basically Dance Dance Revolution, like IRL. This is probably what my rabbits hear when they poo. Oh wait, no, I said I would stop. I said I would stop. Sorry. This basically, like, I haven't watched anime really, but in my head, this is what anime intro theme songs are. Like, if you translated them, it would be as nonsensical as this. This is like Baby Shark before Baby Shark was Baby Shark. I'm glad I got the lyrics. It really makes it, sells it as the psychotic break for our boy Jin. He's reeling me in. He's reeling me in. What on earth possessed this man to do this? Oh, wow. No words for that. Well, a few words. Tuna, super tuna, super tuna. Wow. If you enjoyed that reaction, get help. And subscribe to my channel, check out my Patreon, all that stuff. It feels cheap saying that because that was a very short video, but there's more content to be had elsewhere on my channel. And some of it is the videos that are actually coherent and make sense in the context of reality. So, yeah. Bye, and remember... Whew. Guys, if you want to drop a rhyme for whatever that was, feel free. Alicia Laura says, if you hit 13 or 20k or whatever, yeah, I mean, maybe 13k, because I've honestly been stuck on 12.6k for about 8 months, and it's driving me crazy. I don't understand it. I think YouTube has actually just decided it hates me, because I don't think my videos are that boring where I would not get any... Like, I used to get I'd make a video, I'd release it, people would watch it, and then they would subscribe. But now, I make a video, release it, people watch, and no one subscribes. I refuse to believe people are watching and being like, this is terrible, I'm not subscribing. That can't be it. That can't be it. But yes, I would love to do a Super Tuna cover dressed as a rabbit. I would definitely do that. I've done stuff like that before. When will I check out In the Soup? After I've done Bon Voyage, that's for sure. His biceps at the end. I see him. I see his biceps. I see him. Super chunky rabbit. Or I could be dressed as rabbit poo and we could call it Super Puna. That's a poo pun. I'm good at those. So he's an avid fisher and he hasn't caught a fish. Okay. I've got to think of a rhyme. Okay, here we go. And remember, if you like this reaction to Super Tuna, then click the... Fail. Choke. I'm usually decent at doing that on stream, but I got ahead of myself. And remember, if you like this reaction to Super Tuna, click the subscribe button, you bloody zoomer. Probably accurate, looking at my YouTube demographics. I wish to catch a fish. If you like the song about fish, you better subscribe, bish. That's better than mine. That's better than mine. Oh, you've made me look bad now. That is better than mine. But when someone says like, oh, don't make this viral, isn't that like, you know, what's that called? The Damien Hirst method? No, Barbara Streisand effect or whatever. Like, that must be deliberate. That's like when I made my video announcing that I was making a Patreon, I cleverly titled it, Boring Video, Don't Click, with a winky face. And people clicked on it. Oh, I'm a genius. What's a Zoomer? A Zoomer is anyone younger than me. All right, what was the second thing in that poll? Where was the poll? What was the second winner of that poll? I'm considering doing it. Maybe I'll have you guys bribe me to do it. Where was the poll? Was it Singularity? Haven't I done Singularity? I should double check I haven't done it first. Just someone says, wait, you're that old. That old. It's the word that in that sentence I don't like. You can say you're that old. I'm 30. I'm 30. It's not that old. It's oldish. Nothing's old. That's the thing you realize as you get older, is never refer to yourself as old, because the you in 10 years will hate yourself for thinking that. They'll be like, what were you talking about? Your legs worked back then, you fool. You should be grateful. That's what you say when you're old. Oh, I mean, yes, accurate, but Jesus, I was trying to make myself feel good. I don't know why I'm so tickled by a French person, like, phoneticizing my English accent. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I honestly thought French people would just be like, English people sound weird. No, it sounded very strange. Like that would be it. But you're accurately phoneticizing the way I talk, and it's amazing to me. I'm impressed. 30 is pretty old, guys. I'm gonna log off now. I'm getting annoyed. Like, how old? Like, okay, if you're like 16 and you're saying that, fair enough. If you're like 22 saying that, the difference, like the gap between being 20 something, 22, 24, and being like late 20s and 30s, which is basically the same thing, is nothing. It goes by in a flash. The older you get, the quicker time passes. It's horrible. But trust me, you will regret thinking 30 years old when it happens to you in a very short amount of time. Yes, and now I do sound old saying this. Ah, great. More stuff to talk to my therapist about. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, Zaina, trust me. I was 19 like last week. It happens so quickly. And there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, like, the 20s, for a lot of people, aren't great. 30s is when you actually start having a little bit of money, maybe, unless you're me and you're doing reactions. And then that's when, you know, stuff starts making a little bit more sense, maybe. But the 20s go very, very quickly. And I think the thing is that feeling of youth, that feeling of, like, forever we are young, like the feeling of, oh, I'll be young forever. You lose that once you hit about 25, 26. That's when it hits you. So if you're like 19, you're like 6 or 7 years away from feeling like, oh shit, I'm not going to be young forever. That feeling's going to catch up with you quickly, my friend. And the reality is, when you're like 19, 6 or 7 years, you're like, that's forever away. 6 or 7 years ago, I was like 12 or 13. And that's true now. But trust me, the gap between 19 and 25, 26 is so much quicker than the gap between 12 and 17 or 12 and 19 because you aren't in school anymore. School is the one period in time where you're doing stuff all the time. You're seeing friends every day. You're outdoors. You got different periods. So many memories to cram in your head. Once you become a boring adult, all you do is the same thing all the time. And if you're like me, you don't go outside. Your memories are nothing. So like like when you're like 25, whatever, you can make, it would take you 10 years to make the same amount of memories as you will make at school in like 1 week. I think that's the main thing, is the black hole of memory, because nothing happens when you're older. I'm not really selling the age thing. Thank you for saying I'm young and sexy. I'll put that on my gravestone. Yeah, you know why 30 isn't old? Because people still play football age 30. People don't quit football until the age of 35. At the age of 35, I'll finally admit that I'm not going to be signed by Manchester United, but until then, I'll stay hopeful. Buy BTS for mess. You must be an expert in wine. You're French. I believe it. Anyway, I think I'm mostly just being silly, trying to be flustered here. Like I don't, because it's more about what you think as yourself as an individual. But I think it's very important. I think our society puts a lot of weirdness around age. And I think it's very, very important to shed that immediately. Because like I said, and people who are older than me will confirm this, you will hate yourself for being like, oh, I'm so old, age like 25. You'll turn 35 and be like, what was I thinking? And the same thing, age 35, being like, oh, I'm 35. Once you're 45, you'll be like, what was he talking about? All your legs still worked, everything was fine. Like, enjoy the now. And most people don't emotionally mature that much. The reality is, everyone you see, I think that's kind of like one of the sad things about ageism, is that the people you see who are like 60 and you're like, ugh, I can't relate to them, they might basically just be kids up in there. They're just kids up in there who look in the mirror and go, ugh, what happened? That's pretty much what aging is. It's good to accept it, and it's good to get to terms with it, I think. And I've been working on that, and it's good because I actually feel younger now than I did 2 or 3 years ago. Like when I turned 28, I had a massive existential crisis, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be 30 soon. Oh no, then I'll die eventually. And I started being like, oh, my skin's going a bit wrinkly and stuff. So what did I do? I started getting therapy, or I started thinking about aging. I started moisturizing, which is something I didn't know existed because I'm a clueless white male, heterosexual male who doesn't know anything about skincare or actually taking care of my appearance. I started moisturizing. I started enjoying the fact that I can still dance and stuff. I can still go to shows and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I actually feel younger now somehow. Anyway, point being, it's good to have a healthy attitude towards it. Oh, and thank you very much for the super chat, VK. It's not the $200. Can you please react to Singularity? I think I can. I think it was the second. The second winner. I think it was the second winner. Let me see if I've done Singularity. I'll have a quick listen. Double check. It sounds so familiar, but it could just be a coincidence. Actually, the easier way of doing that would have been to search my name for it. That would have been easier. I don't think I have done it now, actually. Choreographer reacts. That was me. No, I don't think I've done it. Okay, I haven't done it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Bloody lovely. Autumn Leaves was second, but VK bribed me, and I'm desperate out here. Like I said, I just spent all of my money on dental care earlier, because America sucks. But if anyone wants to bribe me to do Autumn Leaves as well, I'm down to do it. I could do 2 more videos probably before I log off. Sunscreen very important. Very true, bowl of rice. I do now use a lot of sunscreen. That's probably the most important thing. Singularity is a part of the Bangtan universe. Well, maybe I should just watch the lyric video then, because if I watch the music video, I'll be like skipping ahead several videos, I assume. What do you guys think? Should I just watch the lyric video right now and then do the music video later as part of the BU? Thoughts? Wow. You guys, you're not monolithic. It's annoying. You should all have the same opinion, but you don't. You have different opinions. You're different human beings. It's very irritating. I'm hoping to get one answer. That's not my fault, though. It's not Bangtan Universe. Now you're saying it isn't Bangtan Universe. I'm going to Google this, because I don't know what to believe. Is Singularity Bangtan backwards compatible? What? Okay, I'll watch the music video then. I'll watch the music video. Whatevs. I can do a performance later. I'm one of those weirdos who prefers studio versions generally, so I think it's better for my estimation of a song to watch the studio version first on the music video or whatever. Anyway. There's no MV for this song, there's a short art film. Difference being, aren't a lot of MVs just pretentious art films these days? English subs. Pretty sure the subs are on. Yep, English subs are on. Alright, I'm gonna, I keep saying this, I'm gonna have to set limits for what I take as a bribe, because I really appreciate the donations, but like, it's gonna escalate to the point where I piss myself in my chair because people keep sending me money to do songs. I need the loo, but I can hold it. I'm a pro, I can hold it. Anyway. Yeah, piss. You must know what that means. It's the same in French. Pisser. Je vais pisser. Je vais pisser. Alright. Okay. Intro. Hello there, people. My name's Comedian, and I am a shameless prostitute. I've just been bribed money to make this reaction, which is very exciting to me. This is Singularity by V. I thought I'd heard it before, but I haven't, which is probably interesting for you to know. But V is a soulful and very, 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 very handsome song maker, so this should be good. I hope you guys are excited for this one as well, and if you are, make sure you're subscribed. Check the red button. If it's grey, you're subscribed. If it's red, you aren't subscribed, and you should feel ashamed with yourself. Also, click the notification bell, and get yourself ready, because we're going to react to this right now. Very funny, Alicia. Oh my goodness, it's cool, but also so creepy. The mannequin thing. It's like one of those like true life reality TV shows, or like True Life, My Life with a Sex Doll. Like it's like one of those people who's not very well in the head and they've fallen in love with a coat hanger. This is disturbing. Oh, it's his own hand. I think I just realized that it's its own hand. I think. Stop smoking trees, my friend. This is porn music, straight porn music. I'm gonna guess. I don't think this is an outrageous guess. I'm gonna guess this is in several people's, you know, Bam Chicka Wow Wow playlists. Almost certainly. Maybe it's in mine now. Ooh. It's cool. I can appreciate the dancing more when it's just him by himself. Let's get distracted by it. What are you, Minnesotan? It's very cool imagery, though. I mean, the last thing you think you'll hear when someone says there's a crack in the frozen lake is, so I dump myself into it. It's a very specific fetish. Right into that lake's crack. This video is off the wall artsy, but I like it. Okay, so the themes I'm getting here. I buried my voice for you. It seems to be like one of those things where it's saying somebody changed himself for a lover. There was a crack in the lake and I threw myself in, I buried my voice. And someone just said in my chat, the white guy in the printed top is the choreographer. That's V. This is clearly V. Hate to break it to you, so V, yeah, alright. Oh god, my brain and imagination just kills me sometimes. At first I thought, oh no, V's got some serious like toe fungus going on. It's a petal. Thank goodness it's a petal. Has he had a wardrobe change? He's now dressed up in Ronald Weasley's dance clothes from the 4th book. He's rocking it though. Agonizing phantom pain. That is very artsy. Ooh, okay, alright. Some great lyricism here. Relevant. Just doing the writing styles of BTS. Did V write this himself? I could believe it. It's so artsy. I love that line. I mean, like, it sounds so pretentious, but it's genuinely good. That to me, that's the only thing that differentiates pretentious stuff from actual art, is just it being good. Because pretentious stuff usually isn't good. It thinks it is, but it isn't. This is good. Have I lost myself? Or have I gained you? So I think I'm right, maybe. I'd hope I'm right in the theme of this video being about the idea of changing yourself for a lover. Or even just a friend, I guess. It's like, you know, that is the mindfuck there. You know, in changing myself to get you, have I lost myself or have I gained you? Or maybe both. Alright, chat is saying, RM wrote lyrics for this 2 days after having a septum deviation surgery. So maybe this was about his nasal cavities? Loop 4. I'm surprised to hear RM wrote this. Maybe he was like high on painkillers from the hospital. Bit threatening, bit violent. That is really cool. Going into themes they were talking about in that other video I was watching, the themes of BTS, the external validation thing. Tell me if my voice isn't real. Like, that's something, you know, ideally you should know yourself, but I completely understand the idea of seeking validation for that externally. Popping like Elvis. This is like, it's like buyer's regret. I shouldn't have thrown myself away. You know? They weren't worth it. Hadouken! Ooh. Cool. I mean, to me, you know, I can't really say this definitively because I haven't seen all their discography, but very, very different from what I've seen from BTS generally. Really cool. Like I said, premium porno music, but like actually premium, not cheesy, like really, really sensual and slow. And some really cool lyrics in there. Some really thought-provoking stuff. I liked it. I can see why you guys recommended it. So yeah, thank you for that recommendation. And thank you to someone bribed me for this. Just someone. Thank you, Just, for bribing me. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. I hope the bribe was worth it. And if it wasn't, no refunds. Apologies. But yeah, very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you did, please make sure you are subscribed. I've been stuck on 12,600 subscribers. Oh, I tried to say it too quickly, got excited or depressed. I've been stuck on 12,600 subscribers. Lots of syllables there. For forever. And it can't be because I'm not good at what I do. I refuse to believe that. So if you like the video, make sure you subscribe. Also support my channel in an extra way by going on my Patreon and signing up. And as a reward, you'll get Run BTS and Bon Voyage reactions. And also, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Please have a splendid day. I'll see you soon. And remember, anyone want to suggest a rhyme? Bowl of Rice says, I made the unfortunate mistake of going to a uni in the Midlands. My grandma's from the Midlands, from Malvern. And I lived in Worcestershire for a few months helping out my uncle at one point. Oh right, sorry, VK bribed me. Oh, I'll have to put an edit in before the rhyme. I'll put a rhyme in. I'll clarify. Apparently, I have a cult now. I'm a chunky god. Is that a compliment? Alicia is number 2 in the cult, clearly. Somebody rhymed, I think. Somebody rhymed. Okay, excellent. Tanvi wins. That's a rhyme. And if I miss anyone else's, apologies. And remember, if you like my reaction to Singularity, then subscribe to avoid barbarity. Oh, and apologies, it was VK that bribed me. So thanks, VK. Thanks for bribing me. I am now yours. Okay, so last video of the day, guys. Frost MV by TXT. Because I've reached the end of my tether, / you know. I know when I've outstayed my welcome, when my viewer count starts plummeting. Cool. You know, that new big hit intro's growing on me. It's you know, it's soothing, it's classy, it's hard to hate, you know. It's not quite as, it doesn't have as much personality as the old one, but it's very smooth, you know, and it gets to the job quicker, which is good. I'm gonna pretend I don't know what oppa. I'm gonna pretend I don't know what oppa means. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna pretend I can't read. Okay, an intro. Okay. An intro. Hello there, everyone. My name is Comedian, but please don't take it personally. I'm back reacting to TXT. I've done some few reactions to these chaps in the past. I've done some TXT crack. I've done crack with TXT, which their manager will hate me saying. You know, there's some funny guys. They've got some cool songs as well. Some very, like, moody and emotional songs. No idea what this one's going to be like, but I'm going to find out, believe it or not, because I intend to watch it while you watch me watching it. That's right, it's called a reaction, sugar. Welcome to the 22nd, 5th century, whatever it is. I don't know what year it is, who cares? So yeah, if you like that intro, which would be weird, then make sure you subscribe, get your bottom in a seat or a couch, a chair, or the floor, if you're less picky, and let's get this going. Let's go. Oh, and thank you to Just for recommending this reaction and bribing me. Rated 12. What kind of saucy... Oh, like it's a butterfly orgy. No wonder it's rated 12. Jesus. Cover your eyes, butterfly children. Larvae, I guess would be the term.
I'm so shocked.
Once again, YouTube has changed my subtitles into, like, dark grey, illegible dark grey. I think it must be like a shortcut I'm accidentally pressing. So bear with me while I change that back, because nobody wants that. Options, font, background, font color, whites. Yeah, this is fascinating stuff. Background opacity, font. What is it? Font opacity. There it is. It's gone again. Ugh. This is. Oh, I'm so irritated. This is so annoying. This is just the least interesting thing to do on stream imaginable. Where's font opacity? There it is. Okay, let's just pretend that didn't happen.
I'm so shocked.
This sounds like some early 2000s emo. Oh, this beat is lovely. So it's a weather-related song. I like it. It's cool. It's very bouncy. You have lost your mind. You appear to be sat inside a goose car. Is that a goose car? Am I right about this? It's like an abandoned car with a gooseneck? What? They just kidnapped a dog. That dog isn't theirs, it just appeared. Giant magical tent, TARDIS tent. Okay, and this mysterious figure is gonna tell their future, maybe? I'm not sure the boys even know, to be fair. I think they're looking at each other like, guys, I think we took a wrong turn here. I don't think this is the camping site we booked. This is weird. This came out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't understand. The maths meme. Hair has never been so bleached before. The absence of hair. Who, like, honestly, I feel like there must be one company making these K-pop music videos because they're all so ridiculous. They're so well done, like, really advanced editing, crazy creativity. Sometimes, I'm not sure they have anything to do with the song, but that might just be how abstract they are. It's just like, there's got to be only one company doing this. Like, one maniac, one madman in the chair. What? This is what I'm saying. He's opened Pandora's box and he's found himself in there. That's a self-insult. I'm guessing they made this music video shortly after seeing that scene in one of the newer Star Wars movies where Rey looks into like a weird ice mirror and sees herself a billion times. Oh, and that's X-Men. All the movies have been stolen here. This beat is really nice. Really, really good beat. Distractingly good beat. I'm trying to follow these lyrics. They're very, very abstract lyrics and the beat keeps distracting me. Alright, let's see if we can squeeze a little tiny lemon juice drop of meaning from this song, because so far, I'm enjoying it, but the lyrics are straight over my head. There's something about dreams here that I found interesting. Where was it? Okay, on Dream Island only chaos exists. So are they saying that in their dreams it's all darkness? Which is usually an extension of a troubled persona, you know? Like, if your dreams are chaotic, that usually means you're not doing very well. Typically, I'm sure billionaires have lovely dreams about subjecting people and stuff like that. Is that them emerging from the dream world into reality? Wow. Oh no, there's more. They woke up again, so it's like Inception, because they've woken up twice now, it seems like. Very suspicious. Oh my god. Okay, and it's now just become like an extension of the Crimes of Dumbledore or whatever. Anyway. Wow, see, this is interesting. I think this is probably the thing that's held me back from really getting into TXT so far, is that, like, I've enjoyed the songs I've heard by them, but I come away reading their lyrics just, like, scratching my head and feeling a slight headache. Like, a slight, like, oh. I think the problem is I'm very insecure as a human being, and when I read all these lyrics and I go, at the end of it, I'm like, I don't know what that means. It makes me feel, you know, like a big dum-dum, and then it's kind of embarrassing. Maybe I'll go away and read about what that means, and then I'll slowly learn the secret. But, you know, very abstract, but the beat was really, really cool. The music video was just, like, completely, utterly bonkers, but in a good way. It was kind of held back a bit. You have Stray Kids, but their music videos are, like, every single video effect they can put on it is in there. Whereas that was, like, slightly more reserved, which I thought was cool. But very cool themes in there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I have to go and look up what it's about now so I can feel less like a fool. So yeah, thank you very much for suggesting that, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. And if you did enjoy the reaction, it's time to subscribe. This is the point. This is the time that would be good to do that. I've got a Patreon where you can support me as well. I've got a Discord where you can support yourself and your social life. And I've got a message for you in a second. Where is it? Oh yeah, and remember, guys, a rhyme. describes the feeling of being complex to the point of wanting... Oh wait, not complex, describes the feeling of being frustrated to the point of wanting to scream. Interesting. Frost. Interesting. Cool. Those are two great rhymes. I like those. I like those. Okay. I'll do both of those then. Why not? And remember, if you like my reaction to DXT, then subscribe so you don't miss the T. And if you like my reaction to Frost, then subscribe to my Patreon for a low cost. Yes, indeed. Alright, guys, I'm going to call it a day here, because I need to eat. I've got places I have to be later. And mostly because I'm sick of the sight of you guys. No, it's been really... Oh, great, I just destroyed my camera cap. Like a fool. But it's been really, really fun hanging out with you guys. I am planning to stream tomorrow about the same time, around 2 PM PST. That is the plan. Although I did get a letter. I got a letter on my door saying that they're going to be coming into the apartment and cleaning the vents tomorrow. So if that happens during my stream, I think I'll just like scream and hide under the bed or something and cut it short. I don't know. But anyway, point is, I'll be back tomorrow. So if you guys have suggestions you were itching for me to do, you can tell me tomorrow all about it. Maybe I'll do Autumn Leaves tomorrow. Maybe you guys can bribe me, or I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do a poll. I mean, you know, it's going to happen eventually, let's face it. Eventually I will have reacted to every BTS song ever, and I'll be about 74, so that's something to look forward to. But yeah, had a lot of fun, guys, as always. Eventually, I'll get more into this. I'll be doing this like 3 or 4 times a week, and I'll also start earlier and go for longer and get more and more suggestions going. But either way, this is a blast, and I'm excited to keep doing this in the future. So yeah, get to bed, guys, if it's late where you are. Get to studying, have dinner, all that stuff. Appreciate you for coming out. Goodbye. Borhai. However you pronounce that. Probably wrong. Apologies. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Peace. Now for me to find the end stream button while smiling at the camera. Bye, everyone.